mystical, so unpredictable, here on the SNL Network.
Yes, welcome on in, everybody, to the SNL Network here on this Monday night. Yes, we are here another Monday night in a row during the summer. We have not taken off any Mondays since season 47 ended, and we got some awesome news today that season 48 will be premiering October 1st. Of course, you may have known that, but it's still exciting to get it officially announced. So we got 3 episodes coming up October 1st, October 8th, and October 15th. So we will get to all of that coming up. But tonight it is Emmy night, and we have legendary SNL cast member Kenan Thompson hosting the Emmys. So if you are watching the Emmys live tonight, you can also have us as a second screen doing some commentary and analysis throughout the show. I see our live chat as well. I am in a different room today. I got the TV behind me so I could watch the Emmys while we're talking to you as well. But joining me tonight, among other guests that'll be with us, is Nicole Rovine. Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. I feel like this is the perfect thing, the perfect episode, the perfect vibe for us to be really kicking back into, busy season generally for SNL, for the world. It just feels like something is shifting into full gear in New York City. Like, it's the type of weather where you can walk without sweating your face off. It's just like things are kicking into full gear, and this is kind of the beginning of that for me. I'm just so happy to be here and to break it all down.
Me too. And this will feel a little bit different than our usual podcasts or episodes that you see on our YouTube channel. Still not exactly sure what I'm going to do with the audio feed for this one. We'll see how the content comes together. But we're not going to be talking the entire time throughout the next 3 hours of the show. So, you'll see people come in and out. We'll give some commentary when we can. But, we'll bring in different guests and we'll have the live chat going. So we want to see your thoughts about the Emmys as things are going. The show is about to kick off in just a moment, but let me bring in one of our other guests who's joining us tonight. It is the legendary Andy Hoagland from from SNL in Review. Andy, how are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's that month in SNL coming to you live and unadulterated.
Yes. Okay.
Coming in real tonight.
Welcome, Andy. Very happy to see you. So basically, guys, when the show is on and you want to listen to the show, just so the listeners don't get confused about which TV is coming from where, just mute yourself on our end so that they don't hear. When you talk, obviously unmute yourself and you can mute the TV. So just make sure you got that different muting thing going on. But Andy, are you excited for the Emmys tonight?
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to seeing our pal Keenan Thompson in the host format. I'd never really thought of him as that kind of personality, right? I'm wondering how his strengths are going to adapt to the award show format in general. I mean, but it also kind of gets to a larger question about what the role of the host is in modern times.
Well, we'll talk about that in just a sec, because I think Keenan's coming on right now. So let's watch that and then we'll come right back.
I thought I would talk over his monologue, actually.
Don't
Nicole, are you okay? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm getting some live tweets in, So if you're here, you have to have many screens. You have to be on YouTube with us, on Twitter with us. I'm pressing send on Twitter and I'm talking. We just be everywhere with us. Follow right along. I'm good though. Thanks for asking. I like
I'm just trying to be courteous.
Anyone watching, you have a little tongue sticking out. Not even emoji, but fake emoji. It's
Wait,
nice.
guys, let people watch the monologue, then we'll come back, okay? Yeah.
Pay attention to me, guys. Very cool.
Yeah, Keenan could dance. I'm very impressed. Yeah. The Game of Thrones that stuff is iconic. Just anyway, we'll talk about this after, but it's exciting me.
Man, transitioning to Oprah after that, that's got me feeling some things. These categories are so confusing these days. Like, dear Lord.
I agree, but we'll break them down on the commercials and figure out who we actually think should win. But we'll talk through it.
Anyone SNL related should win, in my opinion. I'll just answer that right now. The real winner should have been Sebastian Stan's penis. Did anyone watch Pam and Tommy? There's like a big scene with his dick, and you're like, what? This is what I watch after work?
Andy, why don't you tell the listeners which category is currently up right now so people at least understand what you're talking about?
I don't even know what I'm talking about, John. I think this is best actor in like a limited series, essentially, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's for limited series or anthology. So it's basically all the shows that claim to be just one season, but then a lot of them end up being like, oh, we have another season. Like The White Lotus is in that category, but of course they're
It's
having
like
another
best actor in not a TV show yet, but essentially a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we have
really
Michael Keaton winning this one. Do we want to talk? Do we want to listen to what Michael Keaton says, or do we want to talk through what's happened so far?
Well, John, I think we should note that he is a SNL host, both from the early '80s and the more recent years. So that's important. That's probably the biggest takeaway.
That is very true. All right, let's listen to what Michael Keaton has to say. Then we'll talk about the monologue or the songalogue that we just saw.
Sure. This is long. He's enjoying his time up there.
Yeah, I always feel like with award shows, you need to start cutting people off like right at the beginning, because then you set the precedent. Like later on, the people could talk for a long time, and then all the good ones at the end get cut.
Let's just note that the White Lotus guy should probably win this, by the way.
Oh, Murray Bartlett.
What's the yeah. He was good.
Oh, he will.
I hope so.
It's almost as locked to me as Jennifer Coolidge in the supporting actress equivalent. Almost as locked.
Nicole, my wife agrees with you, therefore I agree with you.
All right, I just want to answer some chat questions in the meantime while we're going. So there's more categories being awarded right now. So yeah, we'll try and fill you in on what's happening. If you're not watching the Emmys live, we'll talk about which categories are up right now. We'll talk about who won and what the other nominees were, what our thoughts are. We'll do our best to do that as things are going. We can actually put the Emmys on the screen, or else we'll be taken down off YouTube. So no chance that that's going to happen tonight. But of course, if you do have a way to watch and you watch us at the same time, I think that'll be good. Our friend Scott in the chat asked if there's going to be an episode on October 29th. I believe so, Scott. So I would assume so for that week as well. But yeah, no, this watch party I think is going to be fun. It's experimental. We're going to try things out, and very long first act into the Emmys. But for the most part, I think that the next few segments going into commercials, we'll have more time to talk through everything that's happening tonight.
And John, at the moment, Lorraine Newman's daughter is on the screen.
Yes, Hannah Einbinder, who is nominated along with Jean Smart. They're nominated. Jean is in lead. Hannah is in supporting. I think they should both be in lead.
Yeah, that's category fraud for sure, Nicole.
Like category, like offense number one of the night, I would say. They're both incredible in it, though. So I'll let it slide because they're amazing in it and so funny together. And I think, honestly, it's a good move just strategically to separate them in the categories. But it is a little fraudulent for sure.
Yeah, we do have a question in the chat from Brooke, who's asking if the Outstanding Actress one has been announced yet. And no, that has not happened yet. We've only had so far the Outstanding, was it the Outstanding Supporting Actor in a limited or anthology series or movie? I believe that's
lead actor.
lead actor.
Supporting actor is this.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Supporting lead actor. Very confusing. Like Andy said, the categories sound a lot alike.
Murray Bartlett, everyone. Yep. Almost, yeah. So if the White Lotus really is eating up, or is gonna eat up this category for the most part.
Yeah, so this is Armand Murray Bartlett from The White Lotus wins Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited.
I mean,
or
if you're
anthology
gonna
series or movie.
take a dump in a spoiler alert, if you're gonna ready, set, go. If you're gonna take a dump in a suitcase for a role, you should get an Emmy for that.
Yeah, not a lot of White Lotus talk on SNL, I would say. That's something that we thought would be happening a lot in season 47. No talk of White Lotus stuff.
I think we're gonna get it this season because season 2 is coming out. All right, let's see what he has to say.
Oh, it's Sam J.
Yep. Let me bring in Rebecca North, our other Hollywood Dish correspondent / host, who is also watching and will join us for some commentary. So, Rebecca, bringing you on up to the show. Hello.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Very, very good. Yeah. So, Rebecca, once we hit commercial, we'll break things down from what we've seen from the Emmys so far. So, feel free to mute yourself if you're watching the Emmys, or if you want to talk, just mute the Emmys behind you.
Cool. Sounds good.
I have commercials, by the way.
All right. Yeah, I'm heading to commercial as well. So, do we want to talk about that that song-a-log that we got for was really a dance number? Yeah. Was it, Andy? You didn't like it?
I mean, I think Keenan. It was essentially like SNL, where Keenan is surrounded by a bunch of overeager white people, and he transcends it, and his talent shows through. But yeah, I mean, that's a super lame premise. You know, this is the kind of stuff that the Oscars, you know, are always mocked for. You know, I kind of thought it was funny seeing, you know, Keenan impersonating Ice-T while looking like Ice Cube. That was funny to me. And then I also got a lot of satisfaction seeing, you know, 5/6 of the Brady Bunch kids reunited. I think it was just no Marsha.
That was very cool. I think, yeah, for me, I like high energy stuff. So I was fine with that. I was a little surprised that we basically got like 60 seconds of a Keenan monologue, but that was it. Like nothing else at that point. It was just a dance number. So I'm surprised we didn't get more jokes. I definitely know SNL talk on there. So perhaps that's to come later in the show. But we'll see. Nicole, were you able to catch some of that monologue?
Yeah, I watched it. I agree. I mean, I think it's pretty standard. It kind of reminds me of when Andy Samberg did it 9 years ago. I feel like it's just like that high energy thing is just a good way to kick things off. And then I feel like he'll get more into the, you know, like cracking jokes, and taking no prisoners, all that kind of stuff as the show goes on. Because he claimed, you know, on social media, he was like, he's gonna, you know, make fun of people and go after them. And I think something with Keenan is he is so nice that I feel like he is kind of at his best when he's like doing that high energy fun stuff. And so it'll be interesting to see him throughout the night if he gets more into the roasts and things, because that's not really what he is. And to, you know, whoever said about it's a different role for him to be hosting something like this, it'll be interesting to see him, you know, more into like the, you know, taking shots at people. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan, you never think of Keenan when you watch, you know, Ricky Gervais, you know, really take the piss out of people, right? I mean, Keenan has been doing this, you know, credibly and with grace and talent for 30 years, right? But he's a company man, right? Like he's been doing the kids movies and all that and you know, has been able to carve, you know, a career for himself but he's not one to, he's not like a critic. He's not like a Ricky Gervais type personality at all. So I'm curious to see how that manifests, but it also kind of gets to, we noted earlier, the challenges of being a host for an award show like this. It's almost like there's more risk than there is reward, right? We've seen so many hosts come under fire or get fired. Literally, that's a pun.
Good one.
I thank you. I didn't say it was a good pun, but I just wanted to note that it was.
We're all about
But
the
it
puns
was
here.
an existent pun for sure.
Yeah. But I think it's tough being an award show host in general in these days. And it sort of made me wonder, like, why did he want to do this? Anyway, that's just a question for the group, for the chat, for the comment section.
Yeah, let me bring in another special guest that we have joining us tonight. It is Sammy K. Sammy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Love being called a special guest. It's Emmy night. Very exciting. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing very well. So Sammy, when you're watching the show, just make sure you mute yourself on StreamYard. When you're talking, just make sure you mute the show, just so I know we're all maybe lagging at different times, but we'll try our best with what we have here tonight. Rebecca, I didn't even get a chance to ask you, are you excited for the Emmys tonight? What do you think, Keenan Thompson hosting?
Yeah, I mean, the Emmys are like my favorite of all the award shows, which is a decently low bar, but I was really excited with the Keenan. I worried Ricky Gervais was the first name to come to my mind, like Andy was mentioning before, with the like sheer difference in types of humor where Ricky Gervais does not care. And I think what makes such a good host is someone that does not care what anybody thinks about them and just goes off. And Keenan does care a lot. So it's going to be really interesting to see kind of even like a PG version of an Emmys host. But I mean, I watched that first little musical Game of Thrones bit and he's committing. So, I mean, that's all we can ask for thus far.
And he's back. So let's see what he has to say. It's Virgo season, so I cut you off in a Virgo season-y way. The Peacock NBC joke is a perfect joke. Fair attack on Showtime. Leo joke is too on the nose for chronically online people.
Yeah, by the way, for those who are not watching, this is the actual Keenan monologue we're getting now in the second act of the show, as opposed to the first act of the show.
So you can say before that was a cold open, and now we got the monologue going?
Yes, exactly.
We're in SNL terminology.
Am I supposed to know who Zed is?
Yes.
Yeah.
I refuse.
You can refuse. That's actually completely acceptable to
Isn't that
refuse.
Power Rangers
If
villain?
you're not actively refusing, you should know who he is, but you can do that. You can be like, I'm bowing out.
Yeah, I'm yeah, exactly.
Zed, who formerly dated Selena, right? Who's also there with Steven. Is that not a thing?
I don't know if it's like confirmed.
Yeah, they did a song together and they were dating around the release of the song. So make with that what you will.
Okay.
I have chills, and I haven't seen like half these shows.
Yeah, so for those who are not watching, we are looking at the year's favorite dramas. So there's a lot of clips that we're seeing from different TV shows right now throughout, I guess, prepping people for the categories that are to come. Can I also just mention that the sideshow of the Emmys is watching Andy Hoagland eat popcorn throughout the Emmys?
It's actually the sponsor of this special live viewing party, guys. Brought to you by Pop Secret.
I wish Sophia was introducing a comedy category.
It's also sad to hear her be introduced as from America's Got Talent. Makes me want to cry.
Yeah, I was like, she's on that? What the hell's happening?
She's the backbone of that
I had
show,
no
to be
idea
fair,
she was
right
on
now.
that.
The highest paid actress in television for like so many years on one of the best shows ever. So yeah, that kind of hurt my spirit a little to hear that. I'm happy for her. I'm sure she gets, paid the big bucks there
Sofia
too.
Vergara, by the
Nice.
way, for those who weren't sure
Sofia
which Sofia
Vergara,
we're
yes,
talking
who is
about.
now a judge on America's Got Talent. I'm sure she gets paid a lot of money, but doesn't hit the same,
Yeah, Rebecca, which category is Sophia introducing?
She's
Do we know?
introducing.
The supporting actor in a drama series. This is the one that I'm gonna actually have a
Yeah, I was like, don't you care
mental
about this
breakdown
one?
about this one. Wait, I'm
This is a big category.
Yeah, we got some Succession, Morning Show, Squid Game,
Very
Severance. Those are the.
I wish they would show
Yeah.
clips, by the way. Like, I watch these things for the clips. I want to be like, oh, that was the best
this is
clip.
my
He
category
deserved to
then.
win.
Does anyone watch the morning show? Oh god, my stream's behind.
Yeah,
I
well,
went
be
from
careful when
being-
announcing the winners. Just make sure that we.
Yeah,
get
I
people
went
watching.
from
That's
being
what I
like
wanted
2
to
full
win. I
minutes
did a
behind.
good job. I'm gonna
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
crying. No, I'm actually this is my emotional peak of the night. I won't be as
Yeah, I could guess who won
moment.
from your reaction, Nicole.
I assume it's
but-
somebody from Succession. Yeah.
It's Matt.
But it's
just
not
I
trying to
watched
say
the
it.
morning show,
people thought it
Sammy.
was gonna be. Oh, I love both, but this is who I really wanted to win. I'm gonna start to cry.
I mean, he deserved the win. For sure.
I feel powerful knowing who's gonna win before each of the rest of you.
But I still think it would have
And
been
that's
way
part of my
more.
God complex.
It would have mattered way more, I feel like, and really meant something to see the clip of him. Like have
Oh,
him submit
yeah.
a clip and show that. I don't know if it's like
Oh.
time or rights or what, but it stinks.
Nicole, do we think that if there's gonna be a Succession host in season 48, it's gonna be Matthew?
No, it would be Nicholas Braun and Matthew would
Okay.
cameo. Let me.
But who's
He's
got the Emmy now?
British?
Who's got the Emmy?
Wait, does he have a British accent on the show?
No.
Who knew?
Kim Wexler.
Yeah. I really need
So many
Gracie Horn to
nominees,
win.
by the way, guys. Like back in the day, it was just 5. Like, why is it like 12 now? Like, what the hell's happening?
Oh man,
Yeah,
they're playing
some of
him
the friends.
off.
Wait, this category is the most unpredictable of all of them for sure. It's supporting actress in a drama series.
Don't
I'm
say who
crying right
wins.
now. That was the most I'll be affected. This category though, there are literally anyone could win it. It's like
Yeah, so supporting actress in a drama series, we have people from Severance, Ozark, Squid Game, Yellow Jackets, Better Call Saul, and Euphoria.
Kim Wexler
rooting
has
for-
to win, guys. If
I'm
you
rooting
aren't
for Ray
rooting for Kim
Seahorn
Wexler, I don't
from
even
Better
know.
Call Saul.
wait, I'm like
Take a deep breath. We also have Magdalena in the chat is asking where to watch it online. You can watch it on Peacock. So if you want to subscribe
Terrible
to Peacock,
winner.
you can watch it.
Oh no.
Kerry Washington looks incredible.
as
Yeah.
always.
I know.
I believe Andy is the most ahead. So Andy, no spoilers.
No,
Yeah.
I am.
Now I
Oh, is
know.
Rebecca or
Now I
not?
know
One of
who-
you guys.
Yeah,
Kim
I know who
Wexler is
wins.
always mistreated. That's all I gotta say.
Well,
People sleep on Kim.
I'm kind of surprised,
God, I am so behind.
but I haven't watched any of these shows to be
A
fair.
lot of
It's
other-
just from
I
what
think-
I've heard.
I think a lot of people split the difference, and it was just someone who is an Emmy favorite every year.
Yeah, because like I
There
really
were
have not
people
seen
who
any
were
drama
more
shows.
exciting and fresh. This was her last chance pretty much to win for this.
So Julia Gardner won.
I love her, but there were so many.
I'm right. That's how far behind I am.
All right, I think we could talk about the winner now. I think
yeah.
we gave it enough time. All right, Rebecca, who won this category?
Julia Gardner won from Ozark.
Yeah.
Who's
And let me just say,
excellent.
I did pick her in our host draft for this coming season, I believe. So we will see.
She's excellent.
And we also
but
know she does accent work. So
That is
yeah,
true.
Miss Anna Delvey herself, potentially.
But
She's
also
also
Madonna.
nominated
Oh, Madonna.
She's nominated for Inventing Anna as well, right?
Mm.
Do you
I
guys
think
notice
she
that this
is.
thing that they did, by the way, not just they're putting at the bottom of the screen people that the winners would like to thank, like in writing. Are you doing
Yeah,
that
I
also?
noticed that. Odd. Yeah.
Is that I've never seen that before.
Looks like we're going to be getting a Seth and Amy appearance coming up, guys, by the way. No spoilers.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a spoiler.
No
Okay.
spoilers.
The future John, Nicole, Sammy, and Rebecca are very happy.
ooh, Lizzo's gonna be there.
All right. Could we talk about this Keenan monologue? How do we feel like Keenan did for his monologue?
I liked it. I thought it was funny. He was good-natured, but he landed some blows. He's a hero.
It was a sea of things where I was like, is this too on the nose because I'm chronically online? Or is it a really good way to include people who are not chronically online and share that? Like that Leonardo DiCaprio joke, once they were like the first 3 words of that like 12-word joke, I had the entire thing in my head. And that's just because I'm on the internet too much. So I think it was good that it's a good vibe of Keenan, of all people, who like brings people together and is such a joyful person, to like have some jokes that are very on the nose and are not that.
But
Like-
Nicole, I had the same thought, but I thought what was good about that is that Keenan kind of leans into how like obvious and cheesy it is.
That's true.
You know, he kind of is like doing a little dance, little
Yep.
kick of the leg.
Yeah, it's cheeky. It's like winking at the audience. He's like, yeah, I know this is kind of stupid. You know, he doesn't take his own snark too seriously because he's not an inherently snarky person. Whereas like Ricky Gervais, when he says snark, he acts like he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. It's my last year doing this. I'm just drunk. Like he acts like that, but he does really value the snark in a way where Keenan is more like, I just
Right.
want to have fun and make people laugh.
Yeah, I also want to say for anybody who's watching us on YouTube, we're also live on Twitch, something we'll probably be doing a lot more in season 48. So if you are a Twitch person and want to watch us over there, we still get your chat comments if you want to comment in the chat on Twitch as well. So that'll be a fun addition to what we do here. So we're live at twitch.tv/the SNL Network. So you could find us over there. Guys, do we like that Keenan brought up his show that was canceled, which I was wondering if that was going to be brought up. And of course it was.
Yeah.
He had to bring it up. I feel like when he was announced as a host, a lot of people, it was maybe around the time Keenan got canceled, or maybe like a month or so after. So people are kind of online saying like this is his kind of consolation prize. So I'm glad he brought it up.
Yeah. Do we think this is peak Keenan, by the way? You know, like 20th year on the SNL, hosting the Emmys, Hollywood Walk of Fame. Like, does it only go down from here?
I think he's cemented himself as a legend so much that maybe what it is he can't surprise us anymore. He's just going to be at this really high level, but I don't think he has any cards up his sleeve anymore that we're going to be like, oh wow, Keenan did that. I think he's shown his cards and they're great cards, and he is a predictable, reliable person who will keep showing the same cards, and he pulls that off.
Let's wait and see if he pops up like in the next season of Mighty Ducks or gets announced for like a heavyweights reboot or something. That'll be the pulse check on Keenan's career.
Yeah.
Now that his sitcom is canceled.
That
I agree
is
with
very
everything.
He
fair.
needs like a Dax Shepard podcast. That would just like that
Doesn't
would
he
go
have a
hard.
podcast?
Yeah, he does have.
He has a podcast.
If he does,
He's-
it's clearly not that successful.
Well, you
Just
already
take it back.
know, but you don't already know.
I have
He
no
produces
clue,
podcasts
Keenan.
too, but no one watches those either.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
kind of
every
like
celebrity you think has a podcast already has. a podcast.
in a way, he's kind of like our boss, but you know.
Anyway,
He doesn't even
All
come
right.
up when you type him in. Oh, I spelled it.
anyways, I'm not over Matthew McFadden. And if you had watched any of our shows in the all year, you know that like Tom Wamsgans is my favorite character like ever. So that really was, and Kieran Culkin was slightly favored more. Most polls, most analysts I've been following, Kieran was a little bit more favored, so I'm surprised. Also, Keenan did way more, promotions. He was doing.
Wait,
the
there are
circuit.
Emmys category analysts. Why aren't they on the show with us tonight? That's what we need.
Well, no, I'm giving them. A
No,
little
you
more
get the secondhand knowledge from people like me
Yeah,
and
we need
Nicole
Mike
who
Murray
just
with all the
Okay, let me
stats for
finish
the
my
Emmys.
thought before it comes back, because this is the most I will care about anything all night. Yeah, Kieran did most of, he did, the podcast circuit. He was really doing more, and Matthew is someone who like kind of famously doesn't do a lot of press. He likes to stay at home. It's even like he wasn't at the last Emmys where Succession was nominated. So it's like a big deal because it just means he barely campaigned. He didn't care that much, and it just shows that his performance really spoke to voters, even though it was less like flashy in a way than Kieran's. And again, love Kieran. I loved his performance. But like,
All
I
right, we
think
got the
that
Emmys back, Nicole. I got to cut you off.
Matthew
It's
is
Virgo season,
just
so
something in people. It really. Anyways.
I love that.
weird Simpsons bit on NBC when it's clearly a Fox show, but I'll take it.
I will always laugh at the Simpsons. So
I love that Brian Cox and Jason Sudeikis are sitting next to each other.
So we are seeing clips of comedy shows. So we expect some comedy categories coming up very soon.
How long are the Emmys?
But I think 3 hours, right, guys?
So
3
like
hours
three
and
a half
a lot of
hours.
pocket change. Like, yeah, I'd say it'll end at like 11:32.
It'll be a long night here on the SNL Network.
Are the Emmys always on Monday? I was
Not
like,
usually on
surprised.
Sundays. Yeah,
Yeah, yesterday I was like, the Emmys are tonight, but they weren't.
no, Sunday Night Football.
Something I would know.
Yeah, this will be fun. For those who are a little bit behind, we will have 2 former Weekend Update correspondents coming up right now. All right, let me just talk for those who are not watching about this category. We have Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series. We have people nominated from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Hacks, Abbott Elementary, SNL, Ted Lasso. It's going to be a stacked category, and we will see who wins.
Wow.
Can we talk about the winner yet, John?
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, let's talk about
I literally
Cheryl
have
Lee
like full
Ralph.
chills.
From
that was
Abbott
amazing.
Elementary.
It's Cheryl Lee Ralph. That's her name. Right?
Yep. From
Yeah,
Abbott
this
Elementary.
feels a lot like when Jean Smart won last year. Someone who's been in the business for so long and hasn't
Yeah.
had this type of spotlight, and is just so genuinely in shock because she, like, I have the chills. She has worked so hard for so long, and it's like she has not associated her hard work with, like, you know, like recognition like this. So it feels a lot like when Jean Smart won last year.
Yeah, obviously
She's
Kate
also-
And
McKinnon.
she's so good.
Yeah,
Like, she's
Kate McKinnon
good.
not taking this category. So
Right.
obviously in her final season at SNL. But yeah, category absolutely stacked. A lot of singing tonight. We get full singing speech here from Cheryl.
The
She's
Emmys is
killing
just
it,
an
though.
opportunity to campaign for an EGOT, ultimately.
Yeah.
You got to get those Tony chops, those Oscar chops, those Grammy chops. That's what this is for.
Also, but this might be the greatest thing ever invented, that they put this thing at the bottom of the screen thanking people, because now people can say stuff without having to worry about forgetting anybody, and we
Well,
get much
yeah.
better speeches, I'm sure.
It's there for people with hearing disabilities.
Is that, do we think that's the reason that it is for there for sure? Because
Yeah,
that's awesome
no,
as well.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It
Okay.
is. So then I guess people are just leveraging that.
that's awesome.
That was an amazing speech. It's like what a moment.
Yeah, I have to think there's going to be somebody from that show that's going to host SNL. It feels like a very show of the moment this season. So Quinta Brunson potentially. I know there's been some rumors. Yeah. So
I
could be
forgot
very
she
good.
was in
Also-
Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot she was on Broadway in Dreamgirls because I'm like,
Right?
because my mom and
Yeah.
grandma saw her in Broadway together, and I was like, oh wait, yeah,
I bet I
that's
did
what it
too.
is.
I love Dreamgirls. Oh my god. Also, I put Quinta Brunson on my host draft.
It's another win.
Lizzo's dress is so.
Yeah, it's something.
It is confusing.
So just so people know where we are at, we're looking at the supporting actor in a comedy series category right now, presented by Lizzo. And we have people coming in nominated from Barry, 3 from Ted Lasso, Marvelous and Mrs. Maisel, Abbott Elementary as well, Barry, and then Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live. And we'll talk about the winner in just a moment. Do we want to talk about it? Has everybody seen it?
Predictable.
Yeah, Brett Goldstein
Yeah,
from
and
Ted
deserving.
Lasso got this one. Very popular guy. Sammy, are we allowed to say what movies he's a part of at this point as well?
He was recently in the new Thor movie, so he'll be.
Yep.
Well, if he hosts SNL, that's the rung list of the Marvel people hosting SNL.
For sure, I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of an underwhelming one, but not because he's great in it. He's cool, but I don't know. I feel like Anthony Carrigan could have taken it. I feel like he had the right momentum behind him, and that would have been like a really exciting win for kind of an underdog character. It would have felt a little fresher, but of course deserving. Like
I would have loved to see that. I also even though he won already, I thought Henry Winkler had a great season on Barry, so would never complain about him winning.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, yeah. Sam J. It was. We actually saw Sam J a couple times, Nicole, when you were in Montreal for Just for Laughs. So Sam J was here, hanging out a lot with Chris Redd. Okay, so interesting. So no SNL wins so far. So Kate and Bowen both being shut out from the win here. But yeah, some interesting moments. Obviously, we had Keenan with Lizzo, SNL host from this past season. I heard that a lot of the cast members ended up really liking Lizzo by the end of that week and really getting along with her. So that was really cool. I am curious. I think Sam J said at the beginning of the segment, as Seth Meyers and Amy Poehler came up, said she played one of my favorite SNL characters on the show, but never said which SNL character that is. Sammy, any ideas? What do you think Sam J's favorite SNL character is by Amy Poehler?
Oof. I don't know. What's the name of her character with without a leg?
Amber, I think.
Amber, yeah. That would be my first guess.
Okay.
Or Bronx Beat.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the Bronx Beat ladies, because I think that's definitely a favorite. That was one that was close to cracking the top 20 when we did the countdown. Rebecca, how are you feeling about the Emmys right now?
It's good. What's her name? Sam J.
It's former SNL writer. Yeah.
She's incredible. Like the best part of the show so far, like in terms of keeping.
Oh, okay.
I think better than the jokes than Keenan, like at least transition. Like even you were saying, like Amy Poehler played the favorite character on SNL, and Seth Cohen. Oh, I'm watching the OC. See, it's all over my head. And Seth Meyers is in something. That was funny.
Her OC era.
I'm in my OC phase.
Yeah, for sure. I am too. I'm
You are?
rewatching. I'm
You
listening
really?
to OC. Yeah,
You
well,
know
I'm
how we
listening
have to
to.
talk.
I'm listening every week to the Welcome to the OC podcast with Rachel Bilson and Melinda Clark. So, and actually, we had a very funny story. We have a listener of ours who was on one of our trivia games that we did earlier in the year, was recently on the Welcome to the OC podcast because he has his own OC podcast. So that was really cool too, recently. But we'll have our OC
just
talk.
Discovered it and love, but. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's been good so far. It's the Emmys are the Emmys, and they'll be entertaining, but
is there a specific category we're looking forward to seeing what happens there? I know, Nicole, are you already satisfied for the night with McFadden already winning?
Yeah, honestly, the best supporting actress and best supporting actor in a drama series were the two that were the most up in the air for me. That I was really on the edge of my seat, analyzing beforehand. Yeah, I mean, also lead actress in a drama series is going to be a showdown between Zendaya and Melanie Linsky. I really hope Melanie Linsky takes it. So deserved. I mean, Zendaya like acted circles around, you know, everyone in the world in that, especially that one episode of Euphoria that she did submit. But you know, she's won for the role. I think Melanie Linsky, it would be just a great, you know, circle for her, like a great moment for someone who's been in the industry a long time and is getting her shine now and is so good in Yellow Jackets. Like the show would not work without her. Like truly it wouldn't. Like she doesn't, she's not the most like you know, like Christina Ricci, and it is more of like a scene stealer, but the show just fundamentally would not function without Melanie. So I feel like lead actress in a drama, that is who I just think that she deserves it. And I think she has the momentum behind her, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's take this question we got in the chat from the J Morgan 2010. Were you guys disappointed that that only one guest host from SNL made the cut? I guess that is for Emmy nominations. Sammy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's just a kind of an overall theme with the nominations this year. I feel like a lot of the categories they like triple, quadruple dipped on certain shows, like whether it was like Hacks or Ted Lasso or Succession. Like it's less so like wanting like more SNL hosts to get nominated and just like a more diverse set of nominations. I think Gerard Carmichael was the only host that was nominated, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else I would have liked to see. Do you guys have any?
I mean, Jason Sudeikis broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Broke Mike's power rankings. Like, I mean, 34 minutes flat, 0 seconds, unheard of for hosts. Like, it was insane. I think I guess he had all the momentum around Ted Lasso, but I was shocked that he didn't get it. I guess it was just like maybe he would have rathered all those spots go to, you know, guests in Ted Lasso, which those were the people who kind of ironically took Jason's spot. He was by far, I mean, there's no question, just objectively, who performed best as an SNL host, who brought the most, who, like, there is no question it's Jason Sudeikis. Like, I won't have the conversation. You could have a different favorite, but who gave the
Let's continue this in a little bit because we got the Emmys back now. We got some Squid Game stuff
One-
happening on screen.
Okay.
Also, if anyone was curious, Seahawks are up against the Broncos 7-3.
No one here is curious.
I actually was curious, so thank you.
I knew you would be. Thank you.
I wasn't.
So to answer the question, Willem Dafoe for SNL host after looking at the list.
By the way, this is the category right now that we're looking at. It's Outstanding Variety Sketch Series, A Black Lady Sketch Show, and Saturday Night Live. So, of course, we'll talk about this in a bit.
Are we all up to speed?
I'm shocked.
Yeah, SNL did win, by the way, but we'll talk about this in a little bit on the commercial. Yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting to see if you were caught up yet.
Well, Lauren did a great job. Sweet to the point, but they also
is it a Lauren Michaels acceptance speech if he doesn't mention 11:30?
Definitely not. Also, I don't know if anybody noticed Steve Higgins' mustache, an all-timer there.
Yeah. I might need to get a mustache there now.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be clipped. So Higgins growing the mustache. We do have the Only Murders in the Building trio that's up now, so we will talk about the SNL speech in just a moment.
Steve Martin and Martin Short are Selena's +1 is so good. They should have hosted the Emmys, the three of them. I'm standing by that.
I think it would be too expensive for any show. I mean, there was talk that they'd host the Oscars. I don't think anyone could pay what they would need to be paid.
So we are looking at the best variety talk series right now, and we'll reveal those winners in just a second. But The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Comedy Central, Jimmy Kimmel Live, ABC, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, HBO and HBO Max, Late Night with Seth Meyers, NBC, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, CBS.
I would have liked to see Seth Meyers win here, but can't bet against John Oliver.
I would have loved the Trevor Noah win, but
do we want to hear John Oliver talk, or do we want to just talk through what we just said? I feel there's a lot to talk through, so maybe we'll just talk through this part, unless you guys are desperate to hear this. But
Mazel, John Oliver, predictable, deserved, but predictable. So yes, you can mute us if you want to watch the show, but I think we have stuff to talk about.
Well, first of all, let me just say, big congrats to Seth for getting the nomination in the first place, because I think it's something he's really wanted for many years. So that is just awesome. I guess to me, by the way, like just as a viewer, I know we're an SNL show, very happy for Saturday Night Live, putting the Only Murders in the Building trio right after SNL. Ooh, that took away some of the hype, because they were hilarious together, Steve and Marty, obviously.
Wow, that's an interesting take. It took away some of the hype to you.
Yeah, to me, because I don't know, I feel like last year when SNL won, it was like this huge moment, and it was like, I just feel like it's always this big moment to hear like, what is Lorne going to say now? And he talked for like 2 seconds. Like the biggest thing for me was Higgins' mustache.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if anything, it just kept up the positive energy.
I found it interesting.
Didn't say that much of note. He kind of kept it short and sweet, so like there wasn't much that we would have been, other than the mustache, there wasn't much we would have been talking about. I don't think.
I found it interesting, the kind of thing he said about how, people that could have left, having them stay during the tough time, with COVID and everything. If that's the way I kind of read what he was saying there about how certain cast members who, chose to stay longer and whatnot. I don't know. That was an interesting tidbit, not anything funny per se, but just an interesting thing to dissect from his speech.
Yeah, I guess it just feels that he has to address the fact that so many cast members left the show, and then it's always that question about what's the show's going to look like. And I think he's just very thankful that most of these, we talk about 7 people not being there, a lot of them out of their own volition, most of whom may have left a couple years ago. So I think he just felt like that's the one thing he wanted to make sure he addressed, was giving that extra thanks for getting this push for them to win this Emmy, which I think they're going to win every single year.
Yeah, it was also interesting who came up to accept the award with him. Like, we know there were other SNL cast members there, but like it was really just him, Higgins, Keenan, and Kate that were like the spotlight, and we know Bowen was there. So just interesting.
Maybe he's presenting something soon, or I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's probably a good call.
What
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know if there's
also
any
say
other current cast members there.
I would also say if you go back and sorry, who do you say was there, Nicole?
I think Chloe's there.
Okay.
So it makes sense. I feel like people are there, so it makes sense. Like if you're gonna have two cast members, like no one's offended if those two are Keenan and Kate, you know. And then like I'm sure Bowen will be involved in the ceremonies in some other way. And then like I think Chloe was more invited because she's like very like a fashion icon and a fun red carpet person, you know. So I think it was like a perfectly like good decision.
Yeah. I also, by the way, if you go back and you watch them, you have Lorne Michaels there giving his thanks. Keenan in the background standing next to Kate. Keenan's face super serious at the moment. Like he looked like he was really like intense at what was happening. I don't know if maybe he was feeling like emotions of sadness standing next to Kate McKinnon, who's no longer on the show. But I really looked at Keenan's face and I noticed something there.
And he like escorted Lauren off. Like,
yeah,
he was like trying to wrap it up, honestly.
Maybe it's just he has a lot to think about at that moment.
Maybe he was just stressed with timing, like the admin role of the Emmys. He was just like, "Oh, come over here."
The admin role. I mean, yeah, that is ultimately the way to put it. You're right.
Yeah, for sure. So do we have do have other SNL nominations that are coming up later on? So we'll find out, including Gerard Carmichael. I guess is still. His category is still to come, right, Nicole?
Was that the creative arts?
Or was that already done? Sounding writing for a variety special. I don't believe. Oh no, that would be. Oh, that was from his special, not from.
He has other. Yeah, he has other nominations unrelated.
Okay, well, we will talk through regardless every other show, and see if any of those winners will potentially host Saturday Night Live this season. We're going to get that information very, very soon.
And of course, SNL alumni who are up for awards. The biggest kind of horse race being the best actor in a comedy series. A lot of SNL alum and SNL adjacent people like Steve Martin, Martin Short, Jason Sudeikis, Bill Hader. I don't know if any other SNL alum are in that category, but
yeah. Did we see Bill Hader in the building at any point? Do we know if he's there?
I think he is there. I think a friend of mine actually texted me that he's like one of the only people he sees in the audience wearing a mask. So,
oh, okay,
yeah. So he's there and he's masked up.
I'm just now looking through because I was obviously at work at 4:00. The red carpet pictures. So I'll update if I see anyone that I didn't know was there. I hate Sydney Sweeney's dress. And I was so excited to see what she was going to wear.
I think Sydney Sweeney is mastering the whole like hit and miss vibe. Like she has some that are so, I feel like she's at that point where that's kind of correct. Like to have some things that are like not into it and to have some things that really work. I feel like that fits her vibe right now. I like that she takes the risks. But I'm also not fashionable myself.
Yeah, I also do want to thank Andy Hoagland, who joined us earlier and had to leave. But thank you, Andy, for kicking off the show with us. And yeah, we're gonna stick with you for many more hours as the show continues.
I mean, hour one is in the books, so
yeah,
that's true. To note.
Yeah, let me know. I know we still got a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people watching live. Are you enjoying this? Do you like this type of thing? Should we be doing this more? I always love to get that feedback from everybody. So yeah, let us know if you're enjoying getting some live commentary as you are watching the Emmy Awards this year.
I have a question for you guys. Of the nominated shows, I know Nicole loves Succession. What are some of your guys' favorite shows that are nominated? Or are there any shows that you kind of wish had gotten some Emmy love?
I'll let our Hollywood Dish correspondents answer this one.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I feel like Hacks for me, always just like, I can't wait to see. I'm always really into the competition series. So rooting for Drag Race. They already won, I think, 2 Emmys.
Boring though, Rebecca, that Drag Race always wins. I feel like it's the most predictable Emmys
Think
category.
about the effort that all of the queens need to put in to
I
make the show
know.
what it is.
And it's deserved, but it's truly of any category the last, 10 years, more so than SNL at this point. Like it's so like just every year, boom, 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 boom. Especially in a category like best host, reality host. There's so many people, and love RuPaul, but there's
Yes.
like so many people like Nicole Byer, like she's a big
Nicole
one.
Byer, slay on the red carpet. But with that being said, Bowen, Sammy was right. Bowen is on the screen right now with Keaton.
Nailed it. That was some good Bowen content.
I do feel like this is
Bennett joke. See, that's
Yeah.
the way to make a joke about chronically that touches chronically online people, but it's still whip smart.
Which
That's like
joke, Nicole?
it's like Lady Gaga with two Tony Bennett's joke.
about Selena with Marty and Steve. I do feel like this is Bowen Yang's year, by the way. Like I feel like his energy, like I feel like he's all ready to go with a lot of people leaving SNL. I'm really feeling some very good content coming in from Bowen.
These announcers being from The Good Doctor and Grey's are like, that's making me happy.
That hits the spot for you?
Yeah. Dr. Bailey giving an Emmy, like.
I didn't know you were into doctor shows. That's new to me.
Very into doctor shows.
Yeah, I tried it with House back in the day. Couldn't do it.
It's more of a Scrubs guy
I
myself.
got into it with Grey's, and I know Scrubs, Good Doctor, like all of those.
What about Chicago Med?
I've seen it, not like religiously, because then they opens up a whole
Chicago
slew, and it's like way too much for my current
slew.
Yeah.
entertainment plan.
By the way, the category that they are announcing right now is Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. We have people who are nominated from The White Lotus, 5 of them from The White Lotus and 2 from Dope Sick. So I assume we're going to get somebody from The White Lotus who's going to win.
This is Jennifer Coolidge's award to lose unless there's vote splitting between all the White Lotus people.
Let me know when you guys know who won.
If Jennifer Coolidge doesn't win, it's the most locked.
My God, Sammy, I'm itching to talk. Did you find out?
They announced it, John. You as on your feed.
Yeah. I think I'm the most behind, but yeah, they are announcing it right now. So if you guys want to go ahead, yeah, they just announced it. So feel free to go ahead.
I just couldn't be happier for Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge.
And I can't wait for her speech. Wait, just about to...
I assume this is her first Emmy, right? Nicole, would you know?
I'm going to look that up while we're listening to her speech. We'll look that up.
She literally hit us with a hey, hi, wow in her first 3 words.
First Emmy Award for Jennifer Coolidge.
It's proving that in her speech. Okay, well, that's the first viral moment is Jennifer Coolidge dancing to Hit the Road Jack at the end of her speech.
I love a crumpled up piece of paper and the award show, you know, with all the names on it.
She is so good, and it just reminds me of her going back to Friends that we got at the beginning. Keenan dancing to the Friends theme song earlier in the night. Her dancing in front of Chandler and Friends, still an all-time moment for Jennifer Coolidge for me.
This category, I'm like really waiting for.
I'm rooting for Amanda Seyfried, but
I'm like so torn. I would be pretty happy with a lot of the options.
I love The Dropout.
This category is Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie with
Like
nominees
Margaret-
from The Staircase.
Amanda's gonna also.
I know, but Margaret Qualley like deserves this.
Yeah, we have Staircase, Inventing Anna, Pam and Tommy, Impeachment, Maid, and The Dropout.
It's Karen's time. I hope.
Or Sarah Paulson, you know, I'm your favorite.
Always. You can never count her out. There it is. It was an interesting kiss. She was like,
"Let's go, let's go."
Karen.
This might be the most excited I am.
She was
so
Karen
far
in Mean
tonight.
Girls. Karen in Mean Girls is Amanda.
I love this Amanda Seyfried renaissance we have going. She got nominated for Mank for Best Supporting Actress. This is good. This is good stuff.
So, Sammy, you're a big The Dropout person.
Huge.
I watched it, but like I thought there were better options.
Oof, that's another podcast.
She had the right momentum behind her, which ultimately that's what it's about. And it was a cool role. I think that just the buzziness, the nature of the content. I just feel like it was like the more sophisticated Anna Delvey story.
Yeah.
And I just think it had the right momentum that it was never not going to be her to win.
Okay, we still have some big categories that are coming up. We still have the Outstanding Lead Actress and in a Comedy Series and Drama Series, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series and Drama Series. So we'll find out those in a little bit. Outstanding Comedy Series, Outstanding Drama, Outstanding Limited or Anthology, Outstanding Competition Program. Those are still all coming up. And there's some directing awards and some writing awards. Not sure if they're going to show all of those on TV, but we'll find out as we go.
Broncos tied it 10-10 with the Seahawks. Like middle of second
More
quarter.
importantly, though, there's a "Don't Worry, Darling" trailer happening in the commercials. That even you guys can agree that's more significant than whatever sports game.
All right, Nicole and Rebecca, are you sad that you didn't have a Hollywood Dish episode to break down the "Don't Worry, Darling" controversies?
Like I think we would have gone crazy breaking it down.
I think it would have been a 3-hour episode for you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
I liked
1,000%.
just, like watching in that one. I don't think I could have even broken it down.
It would have
That
been
one-
longer than this Emmys live stream.
Yeah, I agree. Because we would have had to map it out, which would have taken 2 hours.
You would
and
need
then
visuals.
Our opinions would be another 3 hours. Like, yeah. Sometimes it's good. It's like, you know, the micro scale of when people ask Colin and Che, like over the summer, do you wish you had updates so you could make a joke about this? And they're like, no, I'm on vacation. I don't care. It's like the little version of that. It's like,
Yeah.
Wait, seeing
You
in the
guys
chat.
you guys know who would make a good SNL host?
Who? I was just
Who?
gonna say one from the chat.
Amanda Seyfried.
For sure.
Jennifer Coolidge.
She's on my draft. I got to bring that back up so the people vote for me. I'm getting a lot of winners,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, for what it's worth, we will announce the winner of our draft from the summer when we do our next draft, which will actually be right before the season. So we'll talk about next week. I'll kind of give everybody the full schedule for what's to come. But yeah, it'll be really, really fun to get things started in just a couple weeks, where we're going to be doing four shows every single SNL week. It's going to be crazy, crazy busy over here. So you'll get to see a lot of our faces.
Jennifer Coolidge hosting though. Who had that? Did you have that, Nicole?
I sure did.
I'm so sorry. I
good
definitely
pick.
did not give you my vote.
Yeah,
I
you
think I voted
did.
for Sammy. I think.
And then I responded with
go.
the
Let's
Finn
go.
Wolfhard. The strangest thing was that I trusted you meme, because that's how I felt when you did Rebecca.
Yeah, but I didn't even realize you had
I
Jennifer
don't think I
Coolidge.
know. I don't think I knew you voted for me. This is huge.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Wow. And you know what hurts more is that the person you voted for did not care that you voted for
Yeah.
him.
Yes.
Whereas
I'll keep that in mind for
That's
you.
that's
If you
just
voted for
false.
me-
I care so much. I'm so happy now.
Oh, you
I'm
care
very
now
happy.
that it.
Now.
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
let me just answer Brooke in the chat, who asked what category was the last one that they presented. It was the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited or Anthology Series or Movie. The Dropout one, Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, deserved. And just the Emmys are all about momentum and timing and things like that. But then there's some stories like Jennifer Coolidge presented at the last Emmys because of her momentum of the role that she just won for. So sometimes it's like it can
The
be a full
Emmys are
year.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's all about the storytelling and the like her moment was literally as long ago as it could possibly have been, but it launched her into this new momentum that has withstood, and it was like there was no question. I would guess of all the categories, that one was maybe SNL was up there too. I would guess that one had the least, like the winner got the largest proportion of the votes. The supporting actress in a limited series or anthology. I would guess. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd love to see the votes. That's
yeah,
always
I want to see
something
the
I
proportions.
I would love to see the votes.
She probably got 90% of the votes, whereas another winner, maybe you get like 20% of votes. I think
the only thing
that
I think about that or whatever is just obviously like there's like five White Lotus nominated people. So like in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe the vote splits. A lot of people like the White Lotus, but she was clearly the standout from the show
By far.
and like the most deserving person, male or female of the entire cast. So I'm very happy she won. I'm very happy Murray won.
I think
they're both great. Those are the two, right? Those are the two
Yeah.
people you'd want to see.
I referred to him before as the guy with the butt from White Lotus. Because I forgot.
All right, the
his
Emmys are
name.
back, by the way. So
yeah, they're
we will
back
let
on
you
my
know.
own.
Okay, I need
We'll
to
let
get
you know what's
water. I've been
happening as we go.
inhaling Seattle fire smoke all day.
You go for it. We are looking at the competition program category, by the way, outstanding competition program. Nominees for this one are The Amazing Race on CBS, Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls on Prime Video, Nailed It on Netflix, RuPaul's Drag Race VH1, Top Chef Bravo, and The Voice on NBC. This is a category I believe has been consistently won by The Amazing Race for a very long time, or at least it was like a few years back from what I remember. But it'll be interesting to see which show takes this category. And if you are a reality show or competition program fan, we will let you know who wins in just a moment.
It's going to be The Voice or Drag Race.
Yeah, watch Rebecca Lees when Drag Race wins. That's yeah, no, thanks Nick in the chat. No love for Is It Cake. Mikey Day must be very upset. Hey, Rebecca, no spoilers.
I was wrong.
All right, Drag Race did not win.
That's crazy because what I was saying before, Drag Race is like the ultimate Emmys darling, like awards on awards on awards every year. So this is huge. This is really cool.
RuPaul's about to go off on Lizzo.
Yeah. RuPaul has a new Public Enemy #1.
Yeah, big congrats to Lizzo for winning. Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls on Prime Video wins Outstanding Competition Program.
And some of the backup dancers who were selected via the show performed with her on SNL.
Oh, that's very cool. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a show where 13 women compete to be dancers for singer Lizzo, who hosts the show. So very cool.
Yes, and they were on SNL with her, which is cool, which happened before the show was released. But that's just fun reality TV things. It's like,
wait, I love that she's calling her
at a way faster rate than reality TV, but that's just how it always is going to be.
Yeah,
I love that she's calling the dancers up to the stage.
That is very cool. That's
very
nice,
Taylor Swift VMA with all the drag queens.
Not that I'm like a fashionista or anything, and that's not what the show is, but do we like the dress? Like, is this good?
I like it.
I like
It's
it a lot,
piece.
yeah.
Like, they keep panning to the crowd and it's all you see, and that's really what you want.
Yeah, the red.
Attention grabbing.
Yeah, I did not like her most recent red carpet dress, which was
For the VMAs.
The VMAs.
The black
did
dress,
not like
yeah.
the black dress. It just didn't have like enough going on. Like it didn't, but this I think is perfect. I really like this a lot. It's the perfect dress to win a bunch of awards in.
Lizzo was the premier guest star for the most recent season of Drag Race, but not the one that was nominated for the Emmy because it was the All Stars one.
That would have been fun if she.
Oh, and they keep panning to the crowd with all the Rue girls like cheering out Lizzo, like because of course it's Lizzo.
Right. Oh, I thought you were saying because they didn't win, and usually they do.
No. They're just gassing Lizzo up.
I'm just
of all people.
I'm like pan to the people who usually win, but no, that
she was a good SNL host, and I would like to see her back at some point.
I think she'll be back.
Yeah,
I would put her out of everyone who hosted, including people who had hosted before of the season. I would put her at top 5 most likely to host again.
Well, it depends if she wants to come back, but I did hear firsthand that she, like, the cast just over the week just completely fell in love with her after, like a little bit. It's just they got to know her and they had an amazing time with her. So I think they would definitely have her back. Will she want to do it again? I don't know.
Her social media posts after were like the most appreciative, like the best experience. So she seemed to have like the best week.
I could see her being a musical guest and being in sketches again.
She was pining for the 5 Timers jacket specifically. So I think if she is going to be there, she's going to say, I need a notch towards my 5 Timer Club jacket. I don't think she's going to be musical guest. I think she's going to be double duty or host, or she would be MG again, but I think she wants the jacket.
I see Ike in the chat is like rooting for Lizzo's EGOT. And I think this would probably be the hardest category for her to get that EGOT. I have no doubt she'll have a killer song on a movie soundtrack at some point. Like she could have done Top Gun. She could have done the Lady Gaga song and killed that. But
Shonda Rhimes and Sarah Paulson is a perfect duo to introduce a category. This is flawless. Good job, producers of the Emmys.
I agree. Now, what do you guys think about this? Friend in the chat from Deej, who says Dreamgirls revival with Lizzo? Question mark.
I was literally about to say that would be her show. I like Sarah Paulson's dress. It's interesting, but like really cool.
So we are watching right now them give out the Governor's Award, which is about gender in media, if I understand correctly. So less category based, more just direct award based talk right now. Do we want to talk through this or listen on in?
Is there anything anyone wants to talk about?
All right, so here, got it here. The Governor's Award will be presented to the Gina Davis Institute on Gender in Media. There you go. In recognition of their efforts to promote gender balance and foster inclusion throughout the entertainment industry. So that is what's happening right now. I guess we could give some predictions for some upcoming awards that are going to be happening. You guys want to do that? So let's do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, let's talk about some lead performances that haven't been given out yet. So we have lead actors in comedy and in drama, which haven't been given out yet. Let's start with the comedy category. So Donald Glover, Bill Hader, Nicholas Hoult, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Jason Sudeikis. That's a very stacked category for the comedy series. Any picks for that one?
Bill.
My head says Bill. My heart says Steve or Martin Short.
Martin
And
Short's where my heart's at.
And I feel like I'm overthinking it, and it's just going to be Jason Sudeikis again for Ted Lasso. So
I feel like because Jason got it last year, they may not vote for him this year. Is that how that works sometimes?
Well,
The Emmys double
got the Brett Goldstein one. The Ted Lasso momentum it's died down a little bit, but it's still a lot. I just think that the momentum around Barry really peaked right before voting started, and I think that they're gonna. I think of any category, they're going to win that one. Maybe directing also, but I think that it's Bill's to lose. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Jason wins, though. But I think that Steve and Martin are going to split votes between the two, honestly, which hurts both of them. Yeah, I think it'll be Bill.
Okay. Then we have the lead actress in a comedy series. So we have Rachel Brosnahan, a former SNL host, for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Quinta Brunson, we talked a lot about. Kaylee Cuoco from The Flight Attendant. Elle Fanning from The Great. Issa Rae, former host from Insecure. And Jean Smart from Hacks. I think I know where you would like to go, Nicole. But what are your predictions for lead actress in a comedy series?
Okay, so hot take, controversial take. I think that Quinta Brunson might win. I don't think that she should win. I think that she should win a lot of other categories like writing and directing. But as far as performance, I think that Jean Smart blows everyone out of the water. I think that Quinta's gift, she's an amazing performer, but I think that her gift was the writing and the directing and the lifting up people like Sheryl Lee Ralph and Janelle James and other people. And I think as far as performance goes, I think people might put votes onto Quinta for acting. when I feel like you should really, like, the votes for Quinta, like, should go for writing and directing and things like that. Because just for performances, like, her performance does not come close, and no one else is in the category comes close to Jean Smart's. So I think it should be Jean. I think it will be Jean, but I could see Quinta getting it. And again, another pick on my draft. So of course I would be happy for Quinta to win. I love her. That's my take.
Sammy, what do you
I
think about this lead
agree
actress? Oh,
completely.
sorry, Rebecca, please go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I wholeheartedly like agree with that, but it would be just like, I would be so happy if Quinta win. Just like, this is her year, but I'm still Team Jean Smart. Like, she deserves it for the acting.
I
Sorry, what
think
do
the
you think?
race is pretty much Jean Smart versus Quinta. I really don't think anyone else really has a shot at winning. And I think it will be Jean Smart, but I like just agree with the two of you. I feel like Quinta is like right there. And if Abbott Elementary ends up winning Best Comedy Series, I feel like it could kind of just sweep and pick up a bunch of different awards, and she could definitely be one of them.
All right, then we have some drama series coming up. That will be Outstanding Lead Actor and Outstanding Lead Actress. So we have Jason Bateman for Ozark, Brian Cox for Succession. Is it Lee Young-Ye for Squid Game? If I pronounced that correctly, I hope I did. Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul, Adam Scott for Severance, and Jeremy Strong for Succession. So another stacked category over there. What do we think for the drama series lead actor?
I really, 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 really need it to be Bob Odenkirk, but now after Ray Seahorn lost, I don't feel so confident in it. Better Call Saul is also eligible for next year's Emmys because of the way they split up the season. So maybe he'll get it next year if he hasn't won this year, but I'd really like to see him win. But I think, hot take, it will be Lee Jung-jae from Squid Game. He hasn't lost like any of like the precursors or anything leading up to the Emmys, like the SAG or Critics' Choice and other awards. So I think he'll win, and that'll be a pretty monumental win as well. So, but I'm still rooting for Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, what you said. I don't watch any of those shows, but
No,
due to hype, I feel like Squid
for a
Game.
sec you did. You went, yeah. That was very coolidge of you. Anyway,
Okay, Nicole, what do you
you're
think?
both Virgos. I agree with Sammy. I think that Brian and Jeremy, the ultimate father-son battle, are gonna only hurt each other. I think they're gonna split votes. Really says something about Matthew McFadden that 3 guys in that category were Succession, and he won because like the split vote nation. I mean, that whole category was split vote vibes because like 2 in Severance, 3 in Succession. It was a lot of that, but I think they're gonna split votes, and then if one of them wins, it will be like an ultimate father-son, like, which would be fun. But I think that it's going to be Squid Game. I think that I have to watch all of it. I have not seen all of Squid Game.
I haven't seen Squid Game. Nicole, I always feel like the whole vote splitting thing is something people talk about, but I feel like last year didn't Jeremy Strong win up against Brian Cox?
in
Best drama
2020,
actor
yeah, he did.
in 2020. Okay, so I don't know. It's very possible it could just be one of the Succession boys, but I feel like if Squid Game is like gonna win anything, it'll probably be this award.
I agree. I think that I agree with that. I think if the Emmys were a few months ago, it would have picked up more awards, but I think that this Best Actor is the one that it's kind of kept up the hype on.
Yeah. And then the other major category is Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. So this one is Jodie Comer from Killing Eve, Laura Linney from Ozark, Melanie Linsky. Linney? All right, there you go. Laura Linney from Ozark, Melanie Linsky from Yellow Jackets, Sandra Oh from Killing Eve, Reese Witherspoon from The Morning Show, and Zendaya from Euphoria. So what do we think about this category?
If Reese Witherspoon wins, she paid someone off.
And I'm gonna log off of this stream and say the Emmys are stupid. And I love Reese Witherspoon, but
Me too.
Please don't
And the
just
morning
log
show.
off. I mean, don't.
Oh no, I actually will.
At
I
least
will
say
click-
bye first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a showdown. Zendaya, Melanie Linsky, also Laura Linney. The Emmys love Ozark, so I could see her getting into that. But the last season of Killing Eve was not the vibe, and it's very surprising because so many people were in Best Supporting Actress in that category that all of a sudden the lead actress category was not. There weren't that many, contenders in it. So I think that Sandra and Jodie being in it was kind of a surprise because the last season of Killing Eve was very poorly received and kind of just rubbed people the wrong way. So I would be shocked if one of them gets it for that reason, not because they're not great performers, but the material was flop. Laura Linney could get it. I think Melanie Linsky will pull it off, though. I do. I want that to happen really badly.
Okay.
What's Yellow
will
Jackets
see.
about? Like, I thought it was Yellowstone this whole time. I
It's
thought it was
both.
just like another one in the franchise.
All right, we got the Emmys back, so we will talk about this in just a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what Yellow Jackets is about after the Emmys go to commercial.
By the way, we are looking at one of the directing categories right now. Dope Sick, The Dropout, Made, Station 11, and The White Lotus are all nominated. This will be interesting. I mean, I do. Mike White, creator and director of The White Lotus, is a former Survivor contestant, so I do know Mike White very well.
Deserved. And yes, iconic, not just Survivor contestant, but iconic contestant on an even more iconic season. Oh my God. Killed. So good. And there are players, I mean, you have to thank Survivor because certain people he played with you can see the direct line between their personalities and people on the White Lotus. Yes, I'm talking about Angelina. If you know, you know.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, lots of very interesting stuff. Survivor contestants and The White Lotus. I could see it for sure.
When I think of Mike White, I think of School of Rock. He was in that, right?
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
He's so interesting whenever he speaks.
He was a huge name, by the way, when he got into Survivor, and he's very good friends with Jeff Probst. So it was very interesting to see him actually become a contestant on the show. He did really well on Survivor as well.
Many would argue that he threw his chance to win.
Yeah, it's a good season. It's Survivor David versus Goliath. If you end up watching that season,
like one of the best ever. Oh my God! Just for context of the. All right, we're back. So good though. Are we back? Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, Mindy Kaling and BJ Novak. I love it.
They do be loving to fuel those "is he the dad" allegations. They love it, and good for them. I love it.
So we're looking at outstanding writing for a limited or anthology series or movie right now.
but they're really fueling these rumors.
Honestly, they're doing a great job of painting a picture of the TV landscape now versus when they came up in it. This is like really good commentary.
Yeah.
Facts.
By the way, I don't think we said it was Mindy Kaling and BJ Novak, so from The Office. So just to give context clues.
But most people watching know who we're talking about the baby daddy allegations.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Mindy Kaling will ever host SNL, or is that ship sailed? Think she will?
I kind of feel like if she would have, it would have happened already.
Right? For like the Mindy Project or The Office?
Not even just that, or even like all of her new shows that, like, she's so in the news, but
Right.
I feel like it would have happened within the past 5 years.
Yeah.
By the way, Nicole, I don't know if you just heard Mike White's second speech, but he talked about raising his threat level now as a director, and then he wants to stay in the game. So I think there's a lot of Survivor talk in
He
his speech.
referenced Survivor right he did directly. He said,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Muslims for I'm obsessed.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's a perfect analogy because it is of course a microcosm of the real world. It's
Yeah.
Survivor. I love it.
Okay, to Andy's point, Zed was a pretty random DJ for this.
I think it should just always be Questlove. That's my.
I was
hot
gonna
take.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Or Diplo. I'm always down for Diplo.
Questlove.
That makes sense.
For me.
Yes.
Okay.
Rebecca, so Yellow Jackets, do you still want to know
Yes.
what it's about? Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
So it's like it takes place in like two different timelines, one in the 90s, one in present day. It's about this like varsity girls soccer team, like a high school soccer team. They're like going to like regionals or whatever, and their plane crashes, and they're like in the wilderness for like 18 months. And it's like flashing back between like the present day survivors and like their time on the island, or not the island, in the wilderness. So it's got some Lost vibes, but it's also got some like high school girl kind of teen drama
I
vibes.
thought it was scary, so I haven't watched it.
Well, and then
Maybe I'll
there's like
watch
an
it tomorrow.
aspect. There's an aspect of, it's not really a spoiler, I guess, but like violence and like
That's fine.
slight, yeah.
I thought it was really interesting, by the way, just to pivot over to what Mindy and BJ were talking about, which is just it's really crazy. Like when you go through all these categories, not that I'm saying something that we don't know, but just how many shows were nominated from non-network, related areas. So like NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, like it's just so limited. It's really all cable, HBO, Showtime, or streaming services. And it's just fascinating to me that, like, obviously this is the direction we're headed in, but it's even like, even though the show is on NBC, the award show, like there's not a lot of love for any network shows at this point. And I wonder if you are creating a show at this point, if you're fighting to not have it on one of these networks at this point, maybe there's just more viewership by not putting things on cable or these networks.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal, the amount of nominations that Abbott Elementary got this year, because
Yeah, that's the one.
If it wins, it'd be the first comedy series to win like the best comedy Emmy since Modern Family, like 7 or 8 years ago. So it's definitely kind of a sign of the times.
For sure. And you don't really think of ABC in terms of like comedies. Like if I think of like what ABC was known for, like I think of The Bachelor, Dancing with the Stars.
But Modern Family
Yeah.
was on ABC.
That's because it only needed one iconic comedy for
Yeah.
11 years.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
And
but
then
also
you
Jen,
add it
Dancing with
into
the
new
Stars.
Now
Like, Dancing with the
exclusively
Stars not being
streaming on Disney
streaming.
Plus.
So I'm curious how it's gonna perform because like it's clearly on streaming for a reason, and I don't know if it's because they got the boot from cable or if it's like, oh, let's get Charlie D'Amelio on it and put it on our streaming app because all these kids have Disney Plus and they're gonna watch Dancing with the Stars.
wait, so is
It's
Dancing
really-
with the
it's-
Stars only on Disney Plus? It's not on ABC at all? Oh my
Like,
It's
God.
on
I
Disney
just,
Plus, and I think next day on Hulu, maybe. I might be
Huh.
wrong, but I'm pretty sure it'll be on Hulu.
this
I don't
whole
think
time,
it'll
I
be-
knew it was on Disney Plus. That was a new thing. I always thought that was just like the next day it was on Disney Plus. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
just
first
really
drag queen
it's
this season for US.
it's
Stars.
Abbott Elementary. Okay, that's interesting. So it's Abbott Elementary, and then it's like SNL. Like, there's really not a lot of nominations for cable shows. Obviously, Lizzo won. Sorry, for network shows. Lizzo won for. Oh no, it was Lizzo won for Prime Video. So even then again, like, there's really
Yeah.
not. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. But
Yeah,
like,
and I have to wonder. The one category that still is permeating from network television is the outstanding variety talk series, where you have Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and Stephen Colbert all coming from ABC, NBC, and CBS. I have to start to think there's going to be more talk shows on these streaming services at eventually, and that's going to change the landscape of that aspect
Like
of television
Amber
as well.
Ruffin.
Yeah,
Was like that. Yeah. Also, those shows are now so just disseminated into YouTube and viral TikTok clips and Instagram. Like,
Podcast.
I feel like,
Mhm.
especially Fallon, he gets probably 10 or 15 times the viewership from social media clips and YouTube clips as he does on cable. Whereas, like, with Colbert, it's probably like evenly split. But they're, like, it's crazy how like it might even be worth continuing to do it on cable because they're generating revenue and attention and things from like YouTube and TikTok and stuff.
yeah, we do have the Emmys which are back now, so we will be right back with some commentary.
Kumail looks so good. He was in my top 5 of like men at the Emmys this year.
This may be the best part of the show.
100%.
Wait, I was gonna say that was the least funny bit that they've done.
But Kel's here.
Oh, I'm behind. Yeah, no, I'm just. How am I behind now? Okay, Kel saved that, but that was bad
Yeah.
writing. That was bad.
It just fills my heart to see Keenan and Kel back together. But yeah, seeing Jason and Keenan with Kumail Nanjiani reminds me of this sketch from 2008. James Franco hosted episode season 34 where Kumail randomly was in a New York Times sketch. That's one of the all-time random cameos of old SNL that you got to check out. So we are looking at the category of writing for a variety special right now. So we have Ali Wong, writers from The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, writers from Gerard Carmichael's wrote Daniel, which I guess would be Gerard, Nicole Byer for Big Beautiful Weirdo, and then Norm Macdonald for Norm Macdonald's Nothing Special, which came out after he passed away. So some SNL connections there.
Deserved.
Yeah, so the winner for this one was Gerard Carmichael. So coming in, no shirt, with just the jacket, fashion statement there, and will be interesting to hear. Yeah, will be interesting to see what he's.
Nicole Byer looks really sad. But I love her, but her special was bad.
So yeah, Nicole, that's not the first time we saw Gerard get an award this summer. How do you feel he did tonight versus in Montreal?
And similar vibes, I would say, as the last time we saw him, where he was like, "Love it, I'm out of here." That was the vibe.
Yeah, I wonder if he goes to sit back down or he leaves the award show altogether. Yeah, we do have the memorial segment happening now, which obviously is not easy for us to talk about, but we do see John Legend, who is playing. Some interesting names that have popped up here, SNL related. Obviously, Betty White popping up. So that's happened right at the beginning of the year, and we got to see her episode of SNL hosted again. They reposted that on NBC. So that is a big name we lost this year. Did see former SNL writer John Bowman was also there, and Jack Knight, who worked very closely with Chris Redd. They also showed Howard Hessman, a former 3-time SNL host, very popular host who hosted both in the Ebersol era and in the original era of SNL with Lorne Michaels. John Madden, they also showed, a former SNL host as well, known mainly for other things, but still. Of course, Bob Saget as well, we lost earlier this year, former SNL host, and of course, very well known for America's Funniest Home Videos, Full House. And former SNL cast member Gilbert Gottfried, who was a cast member during season 6 of Saturday Night Live, one of the new cast members that was brought in right after the original cast left and was only on for one season of the show. And former SNL host Ray Liotta also shown.
Oof, what a brutal year for celebrity.
Crazy year for that. So.
The Bob Saget one, still a big Full House fan in my youth.
Me too. I woke up at 5:30 every morning to watch, or 5 a.m. at Nick and Night. That was my
Yeah, I am a big Full House fan as well. Yeah, Jenny said in the chat. Sorry, I was going to say, Jenny also said in the chat they forgot Norm Macdonald. I was actually thinking the same thing. I don't know if did Norm pass before last year's Emmys? Is that possible?
I think it was like literally, if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like it was like the week of, and I feel like they might have
Victor said that
on the show.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't think they would forget Norm. So,
especially with
probably September 14 of last year, which was exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
I mean,
really crazy.
Keenan hosting, they wouldn't forget.
Yeah. The Jack Knight, he was on that show, The Bust Down, with Chris Redd this year, who you mentioned earlier. He worked with Chris Redd. He was so funny on that show. I really enjoyed that show, which I feel like it's not going to have a second season, given he is passed, and also I don't really know anyone who was talking about it, but that's a good show. If people haven't checked it out, I would definitely recommend it. The Bust Down on Peacock.
For sure. And I think they were
also in Big Mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy every single time. Just throughout last season, when a former SNL host would pass away, it was just like, oh wow, like these hits keep on coming in a bad, not a good way, but it's just it does force you to go back and to sometimes watch the work of some of these people on the show. And if you're a big fan of Saturday Night Live, for example, going back and watching the SNL episodes hosted by Howard Hessman, I think it's really fun. Obviously, Betty White's episode, iconic. I know there's something that I've been talking about for a long time, which is I've now seen as permeated national media, is Carol Burnett potentially doing a Betty White episode. Do we think that could happen? I know Haskell took Carol Burnett in the draft. Any of you think that might happen this year?
No.
I also don't think, but Nicole, you can.
I think it's a little less. I feel like Betty White she had such a resurgence in kind of her old age, and I feel like there was this certain momentum of like, oh my god, how like funny would that be, even like as a bit. And Betty White was so too close to my face. Betty White was so good at kind of making herself a bit of being like the funny, like horny old woman thing, and I think like it just worked. Whereas Carol Burnett, I feel like, hasn't been like doing as much, lately. I mean, she does stuff, but it's not like she's had a certain like the type of like career resurgence. Or even Jennifer Coolidge, like, not that she's so old, but she really has, like, she's credited Ariana Grande's impression of her on Fallon 7 years ago with a huge resurgence in her career. Now it's like people's favorite impression to do is a Jennifer Coolidge. That wasn't true 8 years ago. She like wasn't getting a lot of roles. So I feel like Carol Burnett isn't having the momentum that drove the Betty White episode. So I don't think it would happen, but it would
Well,
be
she
more
was
about
just
what
on
the
Better Call
represent-
Saul though, so I think that
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that really like sort of sparked
Yeah,
this even more. But I personally think it will happen. I think SNL sometimes looks for these moments, and like there's not many of these people that are left that you could do that would have this type of thing. And like really like on all fronts, that episode with Betty White, it maybe won't be as you know iconic because of what it represented, but this could be something very very big for the show. So I can't see why they wouldn't do it unless Carol Burnett didn't want to do it.
It would be like epic though. Like that would be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would love to see it. She was great on Better Call Saul in a couple episodes this season during the last season. I do kind of agree with Nicole. It just feels like a different time, like a different moment. As far as like Betty White versus Carol Burnett. I mean, Better Call
Yeah.
Saul is a very critically loved show, but not like I don't know. It feels like Betty White was kind of a meme, an early meme in like 2010.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it just feels a little
Okay.
different. But
Well,
I would
we do have the
love to
Emmys
see
back,
it.
so we gotta head back to watching what's
For
happening
sure.
on the Emmys.
I'm so behind. I'm still in the commercial.
I think refresh your Peacock maybe.
Yeah, I exited out of mine and reopened it, and I think I caught up.
This is a big category right now. We got lead actor in a comedy series. So this is the big one that we were debating before. We're going to see who takes this one. Nominees from Atlanta: Barry, The Great, Only Murders in the Building, and Ted Lasso. Some SNL connections over here. So it'll be fun to see what happens. And I guess we can announce it that Jason Sudeikis for the second year in a row
Wow.
wins.
Yeah.
So we are going to listen to what he has to say, and then we'll talk about Jason Sudeikis' speech. We had some very fun Lorne Michaels references last year. This time we see Jason walking up and saying hello to Marty and Steve on the way up, and this will be very fun to hear what Jason has to say coming right now.
A Selena Gomez eye roll.
All right, nothing crazy from his speech this year, but still very happy for Jason. I think they're, I think they're done filming season 3 of Ted Lasso at this point, so not sure if we have a premiere date for that yet. It'll be, I can't wait for that.
Wait, literally, when Jason Sudeikis goes, I'm not really prepared, but it's a good thing I studied at Second City. They literally zoomed in on Selena Gomez rolling her eyes.
I totally missed that.
T.
Yeah, we do have
What We Do in the Shadows has amazing writing.
Yeah, it's
I don't
the
think
category
they'll
right
win,
now.
but I'm rooting for them.
It's a category right now for outstanding variety for a comedy series. Abbott Elementary, Barry, 2 episodes there. Hacks, Old Mirrors in the Building, Ted Lasso, and 2 episodes of What We Do in the Shadows are nominated.
Are you guys caught up?
Yeah. I'm so happy for
Quinta Brunson won for outstanding writing for a comedy series.
That was the one of all the ones she was nominated for. Happiest about that one.
Yeah, very
and
exciting.
It's the pilot, and that episode was it.
Yeah, I really feel like Vegas odds on hosts for season 48, Quinta Brunson has to be near the top.
Yeah, although I could see like Janelle James or someone also, maybe because Janelle, I know people were rooting for her to win the Emmy. I'm sure those same people are so thrilled for Sheryl Lee Ralph, but I feel like there's momentum in terms of like host vibes around Janelle James. I feel like she, like, that'd be the vibe as well. But Quinta, I mean, I'm speaking of someone, she was on my draft list, so I'd love to see Quinta too.
Yeah, Quinta won for writing of the pilot of Abbott Elementary.
I don't think anyone on my draft list has been nominated for an Emmy this season, unfortunately.
No, almost all of mine have.
Tough.
I voted
what does
wrong.
that say about me? What does that say about me?
You voted right. The Emmys voted wrong. You voted right.
I'm more pretentious than you.
I don't know. I'm pretentious.
Nicole, did you see that Gabrielle Union just liked one of our tweets?
Cool.
Actually,
I did not. I'm ferociously. If you're here right now, go look at our Instagram, our Twitter, and that's why my head is down. I'm ferocious over here, but I'm paying attention. But that's cool. Which one?
Yeah. The Gerard Carmichael one.
Nice.
Very happy for Quinta Brunson.
Seahawks are up 17-13 in the third quarter.
Very surprising, by the way. I have some Seahawks fans who are friends of mine, besides you, Rebecca, and they are ecstatic right now.
Yeah, Metcalf is doing fine, which is really surprising. But between the Jets and the Seahawks, my rooting, I had 2 fantasy teams now, so I have people to actually root for who would do well.
Oh, that's so much fun. Okay, good to know. I guess if we ever get the SNL Network Fantasy Football League going again, we know you have a spot.
Shout out to Jimmy Kimmel for really committing to the bit there. I really thought at the end he was going to miraculously wake up and like announce the winner.
Yeah, but Quinta like didn't know what to do with him there. Like she wasn't talking until he moved, and he was like, "You just go talk."
Am I just like chaotic, or do you ever think about Will Arnett being in the same room as Amy Poehler and how what
I do think about that. I do
Yeah,
think about that.
he got a dark spray tan for the Emmys. No, she was gonna.
Like I feel like he's always that shade.
He's
I
orange.
don't think I've ever seen a pale Will Arnett.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And Amy looks great tonight, so
Yeah. Will Arnett, another person I'd love to see host SNL, but feels like the time might have passed. I don't know.
All right, so we are 2 hours and 15 minutes about into our coverage of the Emmys tonight. I guess odds are we're probably going to go till 11:30, but we will see. Oh, Sammy, I love the mug. Sammy with the Nick Offerman mug.
Shout out to Nick Offerman, who was not ever nominated for his role as Ron Swanson at the Emmys, which is a huge L in my book.
I agree.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do?
Yeah, I did see. I am watching on an NBC feed. I think I'm watching on NBC Miami, and I did see the promo for Saturday Night Live season 48 that was released today at 12 o'clock. So that was fun. For those who don't know, we are privileged to work directly with NBC and SNL to get some of the media information from them that is embargoed and sent to us that we can release at a certain time. So for those who didn't get to see the news today, NBC's iconic late night franchise Saturday Night Live will begin its 48th season on October 1st. The season will continue on October 8th and October 15th with the original telecasts. More information on these telecasts will be available shortly. So I would expect we'll get some host news sometime next week, I would think. Not 100% sure when, but I would hope so. And then the cast news will follow with any new cast members. So that'll be fun. In addition to the live broadcast on NBC, the SNL Season Premiere will stream live on Peacock on October 1st at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Watch every season of SNL now on Peacock. So it'll be interesting to see if every episode will stream live on Peacock again this season. That will be something to watch for, of course. If you watch the SNL Network or you're you regularly tune into our shows, you know that we will be live after every single episode this season for our hot take shows. Come hop on YouTube to get all of the breakdowns of all of the sketches. We'll have different people on with us every single Saturday night, and you can get your recaps of each episode right away, either Saturday night or Sunday morning, right when you wake up. So you can break down every episode with us. It's going to get very fun.
John, do you think they'll announce like the first 2 or 3 hosts, or all 4, or just the first? Like what the year? And anyone have predictions on that? I don't remember what they did last year.
Last year they did announce the 4 hosts that were starting off in October. Yeah, I would expect that we would get the first 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and thank you, Victor, in the chat for the nice words about the SNL Network, and Victoria and Jenny. Thank you all. Very nice. Yeah, so that'll be fun. So that's always a very big deal when we get the first host announcements. Last year we actually went live right after the hosts were announced, so we'll see if we can pull that off again. Depends obviously on the day and the timing and who's available to do that. But we're going to try and do as much live content as possible this season once we get some announcements, so you can get some immediate breakdowns of everything. Yeah, so I guess we can. Yeah, I guess it can't hurt over 2 hours into this thing to talk a little bit about the schedule for the SNL Network coming up this season. Like I said, I'll dive deep more into it next week, but maybe I will save that for the next commercial because it looks like the Emmys are back. So we'll watch that and we'll talk a little bit about that in the next commercial. We are currently at the directing for a drama series category. So directors from Ozark, Severance, Good Games, 3 from Succession, and 1 from Yellow Jackets.
Surprised that Succession, I thought Mark Mylod would win. He's like one of the best of the many people who direct Succession. I thought he was going to win. But I mean, Squid Game, like, you can't really beat the direction that goes on for that. Succession is just a bunch of rich family members yelling at each other, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, but you can't really beat the direction in Squid Game, I suppose. So
Yeah, and I think this is the first win for Squid Game of the night.
Yeah, you don't want to lose in Squid Game, I've heard.
yes, you're alive to hear it, to tell the tale.
Yeah. Where's the big wet cameo?
Yes.
Tonight.
No big wet cameo. Yeah, that is what is missing right now.
This is a big one.
Big one.
Yeah, all right. Why don't you tell the listeners what category is up right now?
Yes, lead actress in a drama series. This is the one we've been discussing the whole time.
It better be Melanie. Come on.
I really hope it's Melanie Lynskey.
Yeah, nominees from Killing Eve, Ozark, Yellow Jackets, The Morning Show, and Euphoria.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson, yes.
Okay, that's the most perfect person to do this category. Obsessed with that.
For what it's worth, Nicole was talking about Kelly Clarkson, by the way.
Thank you. A queen who has a divorce album coming out in December, most likely. Musical guest. The NBC connections are, I think if she wanted to do it, it would happen.
Let me know when you guys are up.
Yep.
Blake Shelton.
Are you ready for the winner?
I didn't think I could be so hurt by a Zendaya win because she deserves everything, but
I'm so happy.
Yeah, she looks euphoric.
I mean, I'm happy she's winning with a live audience because I think the last time she won was the Zoom Emmys. So there's that.
I still have to say, one of my biggest questions about this era of SNL is how come she hasn't hosted and how come Tom Holland hasn't hosted. Those are really questions I'd like to bring up.
They must just be too busy or don't want to. I don't know.
Well, because she was doing No Way Home, Dune, and Euphoria all in 1 year. So I get not having time. Her necklace, I need to know whose it is.
I still have her music on my iTunes from 2013 or 2016. A couple of albums from Zendaya.
Well, this is like full circle because Selena Gomez was in the front row as Zendaya accepted her Emmy, and she also sang the theme song to Zendaya's breakout role on Shake It Up. So full circle moment here.
That is an interesting choice. They're promoting new Peacock series on the Emmys. Is that something that you've seen before previously, that they're promoting new shows on the Emmys?
I don't know, but this looks so good. It's called Throw Out as Friend of the Family.
Okay.
Well, good commercial placement because I'm hooked.
Yeah, a lot of synergy. Okay, we are on commercial, so still a couple big categories coming up, and we'll see. I do agree with our friend Deej in the chat. It says the order of the awards is a little bit disjointed this year. It is weird that they keep jumping from directing to writing to acting. It's a little hard to follow everything, but we're making our way.
And I feel like the in memoriam is like usually towards the end, so it's like, okay, we're almost done here. It's like when I go to Soul Cycle and they do the arms section like 3/4 of the way in, I'm like, all right, we're almost done here. And I feel like it was a good halfway part, but just I don't know.
Do you guys feel that like I'm not the biggest award show person in the world. I'm definitely a music award show. I love watching and seeing performers. I love live music, so that's my thing. But do you feel that like because of the Oscars last year, everyone's just like watching to see if there's gonna be a viral moment, and then they're gonna be left disappointed if there's nothing like what we saw last year?
I think it's just like obviously like an anomaly. I mean, that wasn't like a thought I had going into the award show. I think maybe like some people thought like what kind of jokes are they gonna make about like the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock situation, more so than like trying to recreate some sort of crazy event. But I don't know. I'm also someone who just like watches award shows and don't get when people don't care about them. So I'm weird.
Yeah, Rebecca, what do you think? You think every time people watch?
I watch and complain. That's just my vibe. I watch everyone and I just complain about it. But I don't know. I feel like the Emmys, I feel like they weren't hyped up. And I don't know if that was specific, like a specific reason because they were so nervous, but I feel like it's probably going to be the same number of people tuning in. I wonder if we could pull up like early numbers just to see, because I'm genuinely curious, because I feel like that would generate some hype. But at the same time, then you have someone like Keenan hosting and you're like, okay, this is going to be pretty tame.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I don't know that we would be doing the live coverage of it if it wasn't for the fact that Keenan was hosting. So for us, it made sense. Nicole, what do you think? Do you think all the award shows are always trying to live up to this slap moment?
It's a good question. I mean, the TV is just in such a golden age right now that I think it actually relies on it less than the other ones. Like the Oscars they've been in their flop era since the whole host drama of not having a host, of being like, we can't find the right host, and then just not having one for a few years. And like TV is more like in the conversation than movies, at least the last few years. So I feel like even though the Oscars are the most prestigious of the EGOT, in most regards, like I feel like the Emmys, just the nature of it is more fun. So yeah, I think the Oscars kind of they relied on it more and they got it. And then the Tonys, I think the Grammys and the Oscars rely on it the most. And the Emmys, I don't think we need it in order. I mean, we're all such big TV people here, so like we don't need it to be happy. But I don't think the Emmys need it the way the Oscars need it, actually.
Fair enough.
Also, we're back right now with Regina Hall. Made a good joke, as they do, about not being nominated.
And speaking of Oscars hosts.
It's now lead actress in a comedy series, so this will be a fun one.
Now
Yeah,
that
and then
won the
go
one
ahead.
she deserved, now that Quinta won writing, I'll be
Jean
actually
Smith.
disappointed if she wins this because it's Jean's. Like,
I need to
no
know what
one.
the flight attendant did to get all this recognition. Who did they pay off?
Yeah, so nominees from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Abbott Elementary, Flight Attendant, The Great, Insecure, and Hacks.
Correct. Quinta for
Yeah.
writing, Jean for acting. Like,
1,000%. With
correct.
the Martin Short escort,
Right.
Oh.
it's everything.
Also, Emmy voters vote more correctly, I would say, than Oscars voters or than Grammy voters or like, right? Don't you feel like of all of them, they're the most like, not that there's correct or incorrect, but there kind of is.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I definitely want to hear this speech from Jean Smart.
But anyway, but what?
She's so funny.
And thank you.
She's so good. Looks so good. Could have used a bigger earring or a necklace, but besides that, no remarks.
Yeah, she's really amazing. I also want to say about Jean Smart, a lot of people don't remember or have watched her on 24 back in the day, which is, I mentioned before, my all-time favorite show. She was on season 5 of 24 and was absolutely unbelievable, like just incredible. And if you love Jean Smart, go back and watch that. It's just amazing.
She was great in Fargo a couple seasons ago.
Wait, just quick note on the
Okay.
current event. Wasn't that as far as comedic delivery, wasn't that the best speech of the night?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a funny
No.
speech.
No, it wasn't
What's
the best
her
speech.
name?
Just as far as
Okay, good.
being
Yes. Wait,
Fun.
Molly Shannon, Vanessa Bayer.
Vanessa
Yeah.
Bayer, let's go.
Yep. Yeah. Former SNL cast
they're
members
gonna
up
make a
right
joke about
now.
Their show didn't get any nominations. Stunning dress, this orange. That is a color
Yeah,
I would
really.
never think to wear, but like she's pulling it off. I'd be like, I would look like a flop in it, but it's so cool.
Yeah, I have to say, I laughed very hard at "We're the Two Biggest Bitches in Hollywood."
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's
Yeah.
like every time
I love them
Bayer
so much.
curses, it's like when a 3-year-old curses and you just like want to laugh at them no matter what they say.
Yeah, I do wish.
You
I do wish when Molly Shannon came back and hosted the show, Vanessa was part of the cast at the time. She was not, but still,
Right.
now that they're working together, they're very fun. Like it's a fun pairing of like two former alumni to see them together.
Yeah.
it's interesting to give a platform, though, like pairing them obviously is kind of promoting their show.
Yeah.
When their show did not get any nominations, even for the categories that aren't televised today, like none. So it's like kind of surprise. It's a good surprise because I love them both, but it's interesting that they're like promoting something that was not in the discourse in the Emmys.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to get as many SNL alum on the show as possible with Keenan hosting.
Yeah, I guess depends which SNL alum. There's some persona non grata at this point.
Zing.
Not too many.
A few.
Like a good handful, but not a mouthful. Not a lot.
Can I just say, so Jenny in the chat asked earlier, I didn't get to answer you, Jenny, about how many people are usually watching live during our shows. So it's a really fun experience to watch our shows that we produce here at the SNL Network live with the live chat. If you can do it, like if you can watch SNL live and come on after, I think it's totally worth it, especially for those hot take shows. Sometimes we have like hundreds of people in the chat, just the comments are going. It's really fast paced, so it's kind of hard for us to always catch all the commentary and all the sketches. But like that is the show where you want to be there live for, because I think that's really fun. By the time we wake up on Sunday, there's already like thousands of people who have listened to the hot take show, which is really exciting for us. So hopefully that keeps growing. So that's really cool. And then the Monday night show as well, the Monday night roundtable. I also really love looking at the live commentary of that show, because that's the one where we watched the show for the second time. We've dived deep into the show, and now we're talking about like the sketches in a lot of detail. And sometimes even people from the chat, like they'll bring in things that we didn't think about, and we could really talk through them all without the time constraint about being up so late at night. So those are the two shows that if you're going to make some of the SNL Network live chats, if you're going to be there, definitely try and be there for the Monday or the Saturday show. But yeah, it's usually very fun for us to get to interact with the chat throughout all of our shows that we get to produce.
Yeah, I've only been able to do like I think 2 of the live ones after the show because just West Coast timing. And I've had so much fun both times. Like I've gotten to do the Monday show a handful, but like those like Saturday night shows, it's just the vibes are pretty high, and the delusion of just everyone of watching an hour and a half show and then just coming right on to talk. It's like you got to be there.
Yeah, and sometimes we definitely go off on tangents about things, and it's always just it's a fun game for anyone in the chat to see me trying to rein the show back in. But those to me are really fun and exciting shows. And like I said, I did promise I would talk about the schedule coming up for the SNL Network for this season. So we're still finalizing all the details of all this and getting all the logistics together. It's a lot to book all of the shows as things are coming, but it will come together. Like I said, only 2.5 weeks away, or about 3 weeks until SNL. So right now we do have the hot take shows, which are going to be every single Saturday night. We have the Monday roundtable shows. Like I said, we get to dive even deeper. The Monday shows are also really cool because Nicole is amazing at posting questions on social media that we get to answer on the show. So if you want to get involved in those shows, there's going to be some live commentary where you can basically ask, answer like what you thought about specific sketches, what how you relate to them. We use that information to dive deep on the Monday show. Last year on Wednesdays, we were doing our patron feedback show. It's actually going to be a little bit different this year. This year on Wednesdays, we're actually going to be moving our By the Number show, which used to be a monthly show. We're going to be doing that every single week this season. So that's going to be really fun. Mike Murray and Nicole Rovine will be heading up that show. I'll be there every now and then, and we'll be breaking down the analytics of every episode of SNL. So if you ever follow us on social media and you see our graphics and you see the screen time and stuff like that, we're going to be talking about that every single week from a numbers perspective. So that is a really cool show that happens every Wednesday night this season. And then on Thursday, we have our patron feedback show. And that is a show where I get together with one of our patrons or 2 of our patrons every single week. We're going to answer questions from the community, talk about the previous episode of SNL, preview the one that's coming up the following Saturday. So if you want to participate in those shows and you're ever interested in talking about SNL, that's still an option. We haven't booked those shows yet, so you can always join us, patreon.com/the SNL Network. We have a wonderful community of patrons who have started to show their interest in signing up for the season 48 patron feedback shows. So we definitely encourage you to be a part of them if you'd like to, or send in your questions for them as well. We'll put out Google Forms on Twitter and question forms on our Instagram Instagram stories to get your questions in for all of those shows. So that'll be 4 shows every single week. Jenny asked, where does Nicole post the questions for the Monday Roundtable? Those will be either out on Twitter or on Instagram, so you'll get to see that. We usually do prioritize getting answers in from our patrons as well. So we have a Discord server that we launched for our patrons. So if you have Discord and you want to join our patron community, we talk every single day in there about Saturday Night Live, and we'll get a lot of feedback. They'll help, decide how we produce some of these shows. So it's a really cool community we built here at the SNL Network, and I'm really proud of it and proud of all of the podcasters that have helped us get to this point. So very excited for season 3 of the SNL Network. Obviously, we'll have some super fan takeovers along the way as well. So Sammy hosts all of those shows, and some Hollywood dish every few weeks as well with Rebecca and Nicole. So some of the big players here at the SNL Network are joining us tonight throughout our Emmy coverage.
Speaking of the Emmys, we're back.
I love Paul Walter Hauser, the guy on the right, if you guys aren't familiar.
Yeah, he's hysterical.
By the way, the category that's happening right now is Outstanding Writing for a Drama Series. So we have nominees from Better Call Saul, Ozark, Severance, Squid Game, Succession, and Yellow Jackets, all the shows that we've discussed many times tonight.
Yeah, I can't believe Nicole's missing this one.
Yeah, the winner was Jesse Armstrong from Succession. So it's too bad Nicole's not here for this.
Yeah. Rebecca, what would Nicole say if she was here?
She would be like, that's the best episode because it let Nicholas Braun shine more than the rest of the cast.
Okay.
Cousin Greg really had his moment there.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah. Who should we tell her won? We have the chance here to really get her emotions going.
Obviously, Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, the morning show won for outstanding writing.
Wow. And Better Call Saul continues its streak of never winning an Emmy. Not a single Emmy.
Next year.
Better call those Emmy voters.
I will.
Oh no, now we're on lead actor in a drama series.
It's the duel. The father-son duel. I don't think either of them.
She returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so nominees from Ozark, Succession, Squid Game, Better Call Saul, and Severance.
Angela Bassett looks so good. And there's Ariana DeBose, SNL host from the last season.
I do have to say some breaking news posted from Variety. Basically, every time that that somebody wins an award, they do go backstage and they get to speak to media who's backstage. This time, Lorne Michaels did go backstage and talk to several different outlets who did announce that there will be some new cast members coming up. We're going to find out that information very soon about who they are. And I believe that the announcement has been officially made. This is through a Variety that Saturday Night Live will be adding 4 new cast members for this season. So,
Wow. And the winner of lead actor in the drama series was Lee Jung-jae for Squid Game. So congrats to him, but a little upset about Bob Odenkirk not winning. But
It's kind of an iconic streak, though, because it keeps up
Oh,
this
yeah.
like underdog narrative, like,
Yes.
oh, you'll never be as good as Breaking Bad, when meanwhile, like, it's so, acclaimed and all that, whatever. But
All
like,
I'm
I feel like
asking
it's kind of
is
cool.
if
And
he
Better
can't.
Call Saul fans, like the true, like hardcore fans, like you kind
Uh-huh.
of like the victim mentality a little bit.
Uh,
Be honest.
I think at this point, it's just like I would love for them to win 1 Emmy, and they've won 0. So I'll take 1. You're muted.
It'll age well as such a cult classic, though. I feel like, and the legacy to not have any Emmys, I just think it suits the show, and I kind of like it. I feel like Bob kind of thinks it's funny too.
I'll take
Although he
Bob
wanted Grace Lemon
hosting.
to win.
I'll take Bob
Everybody.
hosting SNL as a consolation prize this season.
Mhm.
I hope you get that.
I would love that.
I'd like to see him in, like a
That's-
new light. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that's so. John, so 4 cast members. That's like
yeah.
Is
And then
that
our
it?
friend Peter White from Deadline also said the same thing. So, yeah, there's going to be
Wow.
4 new cast members, along with announced previously the departures of Kate, 80, Kyle, Pete, Alex, Melissa, and Aristotle will not be returning. So that I believe would leave us with 18 cast members for this season, if I am doing the math correctly.
That's math.
Yeah. To clarify, he said there will be at least 4 new cast additions. No clarification, by the way, if the cast would be either new people coming into the show, potentially writers promoted. So at least now, as far as like a timeline is concerned for all this stuff, I know last year they were basically given up until the Emmys. Was people were allowed to say whether they were coming back or not. Anybody who has been told that they are renewing their contract, they've been told already for a long time, and people have made these decisions. So I believe that the cast decisions for the most part are decided up until this point, but obviously they're not going to make those announcements up until the week of the show. So I would expect to probably find out who those new cast members are in a couple weeks from now, probably on the 26th. I would look at. So yeah, TBD on all that information. As soon as we do find out who the next cast members are, we'll definitely dive deep into all of that. So very exciting news for Saturday Night Live. It really is a transition time at the show.
Yeah, and it's also pretty interesting because I feel like for the first time in years, there had been just a lot of internet noise about like SNL. I've been seeing a ton of stuff on like Demois, like the gossip. I'm not like, I don't need to repeat it because it's not true. It's not confirmed yet, but like for the first time, I've been like just like scrolling around and like everyone's interested in who the new people are on SNL to replace such like a large amount of cast members leaving the show. So it should be.
But this is
really
what you want, by the way. This is the. I was sorry.
Yeah,
I was just saying, like, this is what you want. This is what you want on the show. You want fresh blood. You want fresh people to talk about. I mean, we've debated and discussed the Aristotle situation a million times. We're not really going to get into that much more on the SNL network. I mean, maybe it'll come up a little bit, but really, for the most part, I mean, how exciting was it last year with James and Sarah? Everything that was happening, that was a huge storyline. Like, it is so exciting to get to meet these people who come out of nowhere and are suddenly thrust into the spotlight of becoming potentially the next biggest stars in the world. So we get to watch their growth as they become these, future players in Hollywood. It's very exciting. 4 new people. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. No, I mean, and we don't even know, there's a chance, obviously there's 7 people confirmed to be leaving so far. There could be more. So
yeah,
it's we won't really know for sure until a couple weeks from now on what the cast is shaping up to be for the season. But I'm excited.
And we're back. Oh, there we go. RuPaul gets his time to shine on the stage. He's going to say something out of pocket. I just know that. He's getting to that.
Out of Rue Pocket. This was the limited or anthology series outstanding that's being awarded right now. So category nominees were Dope Sick, The Dropout, Inventing Anna, Pam and Tommy, and The White Lotus.
And can we say the winner, John?
Yeah,
is
go for it.
The White Lotus, which is a show I really enjoy, but is a little controversial placement in this category as a limited series because it's coming back for season 2. But
so why was it in this category, Sammy?
I think
you know what? Framed as a season 1 because it was a full story arc, and the season 2 is a new
cast
concept, so it's a new character. Except Jennifer Coolidge, they had to make an exception. She's in season 2.
It's kind of a cheat, but
it is a cheat.
You know,
a smart one. Only an iconic Survivor player could successfully cheat like that, like Mike White did. The correct manipulation. It was a genius move because they like ate up every limited series, pretty much almost every category in it. It was they wouldn't have had that dominance if they were not a limited series.
Yeah, and no, Victor, they have not done outstanding comedy or outstanding drama series yet.
Oh, they're really trying to move this along now.
Yeah, definitely getting the music playing throughout all the speeches at this point of the show.
My God, I forgot Curb was up here.
Yeah, we're looking at the Outstanding Comedy Series category featuring Abbott Elementary, Barry, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Hacks, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Only Murders in the Building, Ted Lasso, and What We Do in the Shadows.
Like, I don't think Curb will win, but what I would do to see Larry David on my screen right now.
Mm-hmm. I would love
to see. He's your celebrity crush, right?
Yes, he is my celebrity crush. And could be my dad, too, so.
And your grandpa.
Sometimes they go hand in hand.
Your grandpa, not your dad.
That's fair.
Hey, we don't kink shame on this podcast.
Fair. I love What We Do in the Shadows, too. What a good category.
John, thought you were about to say, I love what we do on this podcast.
I love what we do on this podcast.
Did I read your mind? I read his mind.
Oh,
wow.
look who's here.
He should have been wearing shutter shades.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Sammy, who has showed up to the Emmys this year?
Pete Davidson himself, former SNL cast member. We can say now.
Really looking like his best Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Pete's right. That is a really short microphone. Did you guys see who won yet?
Yeah. So the winner of Best
It's a
Comedy
great
Series
show,
was
but-
Ted Lasso. You know, it's just one of
I'm
those
over
things
it.
where the Emmys find the show that they like and they just give them all the awards.
Over it. There were other exciting options, but you know what? I think they're going to suffer from like who was the one who made a joke, Mike White, about kind of having a target on your back. I think that Ted Lasso season 3 is going to suffer from having two. It was like having 2 seasons of Schitt's Creek level, like what they had in 2020. I think that they're going to suffer from having this 2 years in a row.
I mean, the show is great, but I like wish
Sure.
they would change it up. So like a new like Abbott Elementary is getting the best press they could be by getting nominated for everything, but like would have been nice for them to take it.
Did we know that Pete Davidson was going to be there, by the way? Was that a surprise for everybody?
I didn't. He said he didn't show up to rehearsals, and I believe that, so it wouldn't have come out beforehand.
Yeah. I know he's expected to be at Just for Laughs Toronto in a couple of weeks. So we'll see if his schedule has opened up more since the last couple of months. Maybe he's more free.
Perhaps.
Who knows? Maybe he'll meet his next girlfriend at the Emmys tonight.
Jean Smart, I think, could be a great fit.
Hannah Waddingham.
Hmm
Yeah.
I'm being serious. I think that would be nice.
She's
Or Lauren Michaels. I guess Lauren Michaels.
Larry David.
Larry David.
Larry David. That would be weird.
I'm saying for Pete and Larry.
Yeah.
Not for him and Hannah.
You could
Larry's
tap into
married.
his half Jewish side. That'd be cute. Yeah, I'd say Larry David and Jean Smart are 2 of the people that I'd like to see Pete Davidson date. I think that'd be nice. And Hannah Waddingham is a good call too.
Larry, he dated Larry's daughter, so that's a wrinkle.
Yeah.
Sammy just pop cultured us.
Yeah, you
Actually was embarrassing right
Hollywood
now.
dished us on that one.
I thought you were leading
We
up
got
to that.
served.
Like, they're not going for it. They're not going for the low hanging fruit.
That's true.
What a weird TikTok plug for the.
Oh, if real life was Succession, that's a TikTok I watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am. I know you said you're over it, but I'm very excited for Jason. Just absolutely love the guy. So good.
And it's yet again, and a kind of a different reason as last year. Like he is in the press a lot right now, indirectly with the Olivia, Don't Worry Darling stuff. So it's nice to see him winning, very, very independent of all of that.
That is for sure. Also, I think as time goes on, we're going to look back on that Jason Sudeikis hosted episode. We already said it was the best of the season. I think we're going to say it's in the top of the 40s for sure. I think it's going to be like in a really like one of the all-time great episodes of that era. And I couldn't be happier that it was him that hosted that.
I agree. Also, an update for Monday Night Football. Seahawks are up 17-16 in the Broncos, 3 minutes to go. So,
this is real dedication because it's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman's premiere on Monday Night Football, and I'm not watching the end of this game. I'm watching the Emmys with all of you.
That is dedication. Yeah, and this is like first Seahawks game in Seattle, and I'm here and not watching at a bar, so that's dedication.
And nothing is different about how my night would go. I would be watching the Emmys. And I'm
Yes,
happy.
exactly. Sammy is the truth.
Same.
I'm happy to say that.
Yeah, Rebecca, did you win in your 2 fantasy football leagues
Yeah, both
this
my
week?
first games. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
I'm projected number 1 for a 14-person league, and I feel really good about that.
That is very good. That's very impressive. Yeah, I did win as well this week, so very
Huge,
happy to start off
congrats.
1-0.
There's a picture that Henry Winkler posted on his Twitter, a selfie with Lizzo.
That's awesome.
That was really good.
I
parents'
rewatched his Emmy speech from a couple years ago when he won for Barry. That guy rules.
Yeah, he's really nice. Apparently, in person, he's just like the nicest person. My parents met him at a gala, like a fundraiser, a few years ago in Montreal. And when I go to my parents' house, right on like her kitchen counter is a picture of my parents with Henry Winkler.
That's awesome.
Sick. Has he ever hosted?
He has not. He has not ever hosted SNL.
That would be a fun host.
That'd be fun. That's my Carol Burnett. Let Henry Winkler host.
Carol Burnett.
I'm gonna start what?
That's very funny. I don't think has anyone from Happy Days hosted Saturday Night Live. That is a good question.
Has Ron Howard hosted?
I don't think so. Ron Howard did host. Yeah, 1982. Yeah. During the episode eras. Yeah. Okay, so that answers that. Yeah.
I feel like Scott Baio host.
Scott Baio. Let's check that. That I don't think so. No, but Ron Howard.
On a separate note, do you think Sydney Sweeney could host? Has the chance?
I think so.
I would have thought last year would have been her year, but with both White Lotus in.
Yeah. Maybe we should. Yeah. Let's answer this question from Victoria. Okay. When you get a chance, answer this question for Victoria. Ozark or Succession first?
Like for what's gonna win?
No, what you should watch. What she should watch.
Succession.
Succession.
No, I say Ozark though because then you get the full end-to-end series. You know.
No.
Succession's the moment. Succession's the show. If you want to watch a Jason Bateman show, watch Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Fair.
Also, if you want to watch Succession, watch Arrested Development. It's the same thing. So, yeah, that's that on that one. They're the same show. That's the secret. They're both very good shows.
I went to the same elementary school and middle school as Selma Blair, so shout out.
I went to the same elementary school and middle school as Big Wet.
I did with Natalie Portman and Idina Menzel.
All right.
I have some other cool ones, but there's just the running joke that
you win.
As Big Wet.
Oh, wait.
So, outstanding drama series is happening right now. Better Call Saul, Euphoria, Ozark, Severance, Squid Game, Stranger Things, Succession, and Yellow Jackets. A huge category here.
So this is the last award, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This night really flew by.
Did they do the
you guys
category
not know the winner yet?
No, but I don't think they did Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. Did they?
Jean Smart.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, they didn't update the Wikipedia.
About Jean.
They didn't update the Wikipedia. My bad. Yeah. Blame the wikis. All right. Yeah, you can announce the winner for everybody. Yeah.
Succession, Nicole. I thought you'd have a more overt reaction here.
Succession. Everything is the same. Succession wins.
No, Succession is not like a Ted Lasso. Like
no, I agree. I'm much happier that Succession won than Ted Lasso won.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page. Yeah, I'm
Succession
thrilled.
was fantastic last season.
Season 3 killed, and I love that. Not just because Tom is my favorite, but like Tom, aka Matthew McFadden, winning, being the only major actor to win for Succession for season 3 is really reflective of the season. Because not to spoil anything, but let's
answer this question from Fernanda, who wants to know favorite show that didn't make it to the Emmys.
Ooh.
Was This Is Us nominated for anything for their last
No.
season? Because that would be
No,
my
they got
bet.
one for Mandy Moore's husband, the song that he wrote that she sang. That was the
Okay,
one
so
nomination.
that wasn't here. So I'm gonna say This Is Us though for the last season.
I'll say the only nomination for Atlanta, I think, was Donald Glover. Would have liked to see that get
Yeah.
nominated more for Best Comedy Series as well.
Z-Way. I
Nice.
think Z-Way season 2 should have gotten some more. But Showtime,
it should have, but
is hard. Like Yellow Jackets was such a good, like so good for Showtime because, like, again, I love That For You on Showtime with like Molly Shannon and Vanessa Bayer presenting together for a show that wasn't nominated. It's like crazy. But yeah, I feel like Z-Way could have gotten.
I think Z-Way is some years though. I think just because that like those categories are just longer games, you know.
Yeah,
like,
the long game.
it's long.
Yeah, you're right.
But I feel in the near future that's a good call.
And just to tie it back to SNL, Adam McKay winning. I think he wins for Succession, right? Because he's a producer on the show.
Technically,
So-
I mean, technically, Will Ferrell is too, but I don't know how much he is involved day to day.
He's not up there, that's for sure.
Yeah, but no, Adam McKay, especially season 1, I think he had a ton of involvement with like shaping the tone of the show for sure.
Okay. Well, that does it for the Emmy Awards. Once again, congrats to all the winners. Congratulations to Keenan Thompson for hosting and doing a great job this year and his upcoming 20th season at Saturday Night Live. Can't wait to discuss everything SNL related. Next Monday night, we'll be back. We have one more preseason 48 show that we're going to do, a little spontaneous with the news that came out recently, but we're going to talk about Melissa Villaseñor, Alex Moffat, and Aristotle Atari, the 3 cast members who are not returning. We'll do a little retrospective on their careers. So that'll be next Monday night. And then following that week, that pre-SNL week, we're going to have some really fun shows. We have our preseason roundtable where we're going to talk about all the SNL news, the new hosts, preview the cast, all that stuff. We're also going to have our preseason draft. So we'll tell you about all of the rules for that. We're going to have a lot of the familiar faces from the network on for that. And then we're right back at it with all the different coverage. So to see everything that we got going on, make sure to follow us on social media. Nicole has posted a ton of Emmy stuff. So
and I'm going to keep going for another hour or two. So
yeah, she
follow us
overloaded
right
the
now.
feed tonight. Yeah, follow us at the SNL Network wherever you can. And Rebecca, Sammy, do you have anything you want to plug, either of you?
No, just follow me on all social medias at Rebarbecue, and I frequent podcasts on the SNL Network. So tune in whenever you see my name.
Sounds good. Sammy, what about you?
And I'll plug my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at @ThatSammyK. And please, if you have not checked out our newest Superfan Takeover, we talked about the state of SNL leading up to season 48. It was a very fun show. We predicted a couple things that maybe have come to pass. So why don't you go check that out if you haven't?
Yeah, it's outdated, but it's fun.
Personally, I'm like, let me talk about myself. No, you can. I'm follow us because I'm tweeting and all these random things, and TikTok. I'm about to post a TikTok for us. You'll see. But yeah, just follow me on at Nicole Rovine wherever. I had some kind of fun tweets today from my personal account. But yeah, I feel like Sammy's Twitter, you have a lot of good tweets. I appreciate it.
Wow, that's high praise.
Yeah. And if you like this more casual format, by the way, of the SNL Network, like us hanging out, like I said, we were live on Twitch tonight. We might do some more Twitch content throughout the season. That'll be more in this style of just like hanging out and talking and getting to know the different podcasters as we go. So if you like this type of thing, definitely let us know about that. I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us tonight during the Emmy Awards, and hope everybody has a great rest of your week. We will see you next time, everybody.